come from behind win. Series over. Ratchet it again. Unbelievable.
Promise on produce. If your produce isn't fresh, they'll replace it and refund it. There are so many ways to save at Real Canadian Superstore. See their flyer for details.
When it comes to your new home, nothing should stop you from getting exactly what you want. Coventry Homes puts your needs front and center. They won't deep past your questions about customization, and making changes won't get you sent to the penalty box. With their customizable designs and flexible options, your game-changing home is within reach. Score big with flexibility. By Coventry Homes, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers.
This is Rogers Game Night on the Oilers Radio Network.
I think we all knew coming into this year that we were probably not going to replicate last year. It was a run you go on one time, I think. But for sure, you want to become better, and it's a huge part of the success you're going to have. And I think so far in the playoffs, the first 2 rounds, we've gone off to bad starts, and we've made adjustments and gotten better. And I think last games, it was a lot of good, but obviously it cost us the game. We needed one more play on all of those kills, and we didn't get it. So yeah, it's the same mindset now. Try to change little things and be a little bit better on the details and get better as the series goes along.
That is Matthias Janmark. The Oilers were at 94% last year in the PK. They're at 62% right now. This is Rogers Game Night. Bob Stauffer with you, and we're going to tell you to stay tuned following the game for the Alberta Blue Cross Travel Insurance Goal of the game. Health, dental, travel. We got the coverage you need. Visit ab.bluecross.ca. And at this time, we welcome aboard Jack Michaels and Rob Brown. Jack?
Well, Bob, as we get set for this game 2 of the Western Conference Final, I mean, Rob, it's interesting how 2 teams arrive at a game 2 with vastly different goals. The Oilers would like to be better on special teams, but Dallas would like to be, I would think, much better 5-on-5. Rob, which team, in your mind, can throw out that was a one-off scenario, and which team has perhaps a pressing concern moving forward if the pattern continues?
Well, considering most games are played 5-on-5, you can become more disciplined as a hockey team, and the Oilers are a very disciplined team most times. So all of a sudden you say, okay, we're going to limit the chances that Dallas has on the power play. So all of a sudden we just play 5-on-5 hockey, and we were significantly better than the Stars. The Stars are not, and I heard you talking earlier on the show, where the Stars are not going to move on in this series unless they start becoming effective 5-on-5. You just can't. There's just too much of the game is played at even strength that you can't be caved in possession-wise shift after shift after shift, because Connor and a Leon, if they get as many chances as they had last night, all of a sudden you're looking at 5- and 6-point nights. So I think the Dallas Stars realize that, you know what, they had a good period, and they stole one from the Edmonton Oilers. But they can't. That is not a recipe of winning a series. That's a recipe of winning a game. But to win a series, the Dallas Stars have to be a much better club 5-on-5, which we already know that the Oilers are very effective at.
Yeah, they had a good 6 minutes, really, on the power play is what they had. I mean, they're the second team since 1934 with 3 power play goals in the first 6 minutes of a period. I mean, it's, you know, I look at it as a bit of a one-off. Now, having said that, Rob, you have tossed away a game in a best-of-7 series. And I realize it's a long series, but you've still tossed a game away. I brought up the example of, you know, the Game 5 loss to Anaheim 8 years ago, where that you lose in 7, but for me that series was lost in Game 5. What importance do you place on, let's say, the first 30 minutes tonight in terms of reestablishing the fact that our best is better than your best from an Edmonton perspective? Is that important, or with this Oiler club and their propensity for rallying rather than necessarily starting on time, is it immaterial what the first 30 minutes look like?
Well, I think going back to your first point about throwing a game away that you should have won, it gets a little dicier and more important when you play against a team. And let's face it, Ottinger's a goaltender that can win a game or 2 for you in a series.
And I didn't think he was at his best either.
No,
did you, Rob? He got a little lucky.
And that's where you're thinking, okay, we scored 3 on him. We dominated 5-on-5 for 40 minutes, and yet we didn't find a way to win the hockey game. But Ottinger can win a game or two. And I watched the Dallas-Winnipeg series, and there were a couple games in that series where Winnipeg was the better team, but Ottinger was the better goaltender. So that's why you don't want to throw a game away, because there might be a couple nights where you're better, but their goaltender stands on his head. I do believe that as the way this game starts, where if the Oilers can, I mean, the whole narrative has been from the Oilers dressing room is, you know what, we made some discipline mistakes and our penalty kill wasn't good. But 5-on-5, it was not a contest. So if they come out in the first 30 minutes of this game and show that type of commitment 5-on-5, and the Dallas Stars again are, you know, scrambling in their own zone, it does get in the back of your head, because you know as a Dallas Star player, you're probably not going to take 3 straight penalties again. And even if they do, you know, we did get a seeing eye shot. We did get one that bounced off someone's back. Now, they were goals, but it wasn't all pretty plays. So, yes, the Dallas Stars, if they find themselves caved in their own zone through the first 30, 35 minutes of this hockey game, you know, a little seed of doubt will be planted in their heads, because in the last 2 series with LA and Vegas, I don't think the Oilers dominated 5-on-5 so much that they caved in the opposition like the first 40 minutes of the game 2 nights ago.
Rob, you touched on Jake Ottinger. Last year, he was outplayed by Stuart Skinner, and along with special teams where Edmonton outscored Dallas 5-0, including a shorthanded goal, you know, Skinner outplayed Ottinger. I said before the series, if Ottinger gets outplayed by Skinner again, Dallas cannot win this series. What does Stuart Skinner need to bring tonight for his hockey club? You know, he was coming off back-to-back shutouts. I understand the penalty kill didn't have a great night, but your goaltender's part of the PK. What does he need to do in order to, I wouldn't say restore confidence, but ensure that his team knows he's got their back?
Well, I think we saw it in the Vegas series. You know, Skinner comes back into the series because of the Pickard injury and didn't play poorly in the loss, but it was a loss. And you just pulled a goalie for injury with 6 straight wins, and Stuart Skinner lost the game on the last less than a second goal. And before that game, I said, it's very important for the Oilers and very important for Skinner to have a big save or 2 early in the hockey game. And that'll just settle himself down, but it'll certainly settle the bench down. So I think, again, tonight, the 6 goals against, you're not, or 5 goals, I guess, on him, you're not thinking, okay, well, 2 at 5-hole from distance, and, I mean, he really muffed that one, but they went past him. So I do believe that early in this hockey game, if Dallas gets a chance, he's got to make a big save, and it'll just completely calm him down. I feel that when he is involved in a good way early in a game, it carries throughout. But if things start to go sideways, his confidence lags a little bit. And I think that we need a confident Stuart Skinner. And then when he was at his best in the Vegas games where he had the shutouts, the focus, like they showed, every time they showed him after a save, there was nothing but his eyes staring straight ahead. Wasn't involved with a player, wasn't looking at a ref, just straight ahead. Whereas in the game against Dallas the other night, you could see on the one where just before the goal even went in, he was looking at the ref. I got bumped. They need the focus Stuart Skinner that we saw in games, I believe that'd be 5 and 6 or 4 and 5 against the Vegas Golden Knights.
What's on your mind? What's a pressing issue for you that you arrived at the studio tonight waiting to see?
Honestly, how the Oilers will come out in this game. And I take that back. How the Dallas Stars are going to come out in this hockey game. You know, they had a big win the other night on the back of a third period. But are they what we saw in the third period, or are they what we saw in the first 40? And to me, I know what the Oilers are capable of. I've watched them enough over the last 19 seasons and the entire Connor and Leon era. So I know what they're capable of doing, and it's why in any game, I don't care if they're down 2 or 3 in a game, I still feel they have a chance to win. But I don't know what I see in this Dallas team. What I saw in game 1 through 40 minutes was, this is going to be a short series. So
the most troubling aspect for me, Rob, was that they allowed Duchesne and Sagan to get off the schneid. Duchesne hadn't scored a goal the entire playoffs, and Sagan hadn't scored in 10 games. And now you worry where there's a carryover effect, because Dallas still has 20 and 30 goal guys like Marchment, Dodonov, and Johnston, who, oh, by the way, 2 of those are playing on the line together. Jamie Benn's got 1 goal. I mean, they've got some guys that have been pretty quiet, and I wonder whether Edmonton has also caught up and surpassed Dallas in the depth category.
Well, before the series, I said that on paper that the Dallas Stars had better depth up front. But in the games, the Oilers do, because the Dallas depth has been quiet. Yeah. And it was been quiet the entire playoffs. They moved to the third round on the back of goaltending and specialty teams and their first line. That's how they got here. They did not get where the Oilers came into the third round on the back of their depth players. Connor and Leon were almost human in round 2. But their fourth line would score 2. Their third line would score 2. Their second line would pop 1 in. Their second line scored 1 in overtime. So I felt the Oilers' depth players were better. And after the game, when talking to Bob, I said there's 2 things that really hurt. Obviously, the Oilers losing a game they should have won, but also players waking up for the Dallas Stars. And we saw at the end of the year, Jack, when Connor and Leon weren't in the lineup, the Arvidssons, the Henriques, the Picolzens, all the way through the lineup, those players were playing in different positions and different opportunities. They were on the power play. They were playing first and second line minutes, and they found offensive confidence. And that really carried on into the playoffs. Even though they were back slotted where they're supposed to be, they had a little bit of offensive swagger because they got to touch the puck. So that's the one fear, is that a couple players have awoken for the Dallas Stars, and they do have guys that can put the puck back in the back of the net. And this is if Jack going the other way. If you're a Dallas Star, we did not have a good first 40, and our best player, our superstar, was quiet because Rantanen was quiet, and we still found a way to win a hockey game. So that's what Dallas will be talking about. They haven't seen what we're really about, and we still won a game. So I would imagine, and I've been listening to you all day on this. The Oilers are going to come out and they're going to play well. I really believe that. I believe they can respond. I'm interested to see how Dallas can respond after a win that they probably didn't deserve after 40 minutes.
And again, to illustrate your comments, each team has 6 guys with at least 4 goals in the Stanley Cup playoffs. But for Dallas, those are the only 6 guys with as many as 2. Edmonton has 11 guys with 2. So just speaking to the greater depth. Rob, thank you. We'll hear from you a little bit later on. This is the Rogers pregame show, brought to you by Rogers, proud partner and fan of the Edmonton Oilers. And Game 2 of the Western Conference Final from Dallas, Texas continues in just a moment. The Oilers Radio Network.
Get paid to stay with Edmonton's best hotels. Book through edmontonsbesthotels.com and receive up to $225 in gas, meal, or cash cards. There's over 52 hotels to choose from. Edmonton's best hotels. Get paid to stay.
Steelhaus Triton, 2 legendary oilfield services brands, 1 powerful partnership. Rooted in innovation, reliability, and a steadfast commitment to excellence, Steelhaus is proudly 100% Canadian-owned and locally manufactured. With over 15 field service locations across the prairies and up to the Rockies, they deliver world-class energy solutions with unmatched responsiveness, helping their customers thrive in the most demanding environments. Steelhaus Triton, engineered for performance, built in Canada. Visit steelhausinc.com for more information.
Get paid to stay with Edmonton's best hotels. Book through edmontonsbesthotels.com and receive up to $225 in gas, meal, or cash cards. There's over 52 hotels to choose from. Edmonton's best hotels. Get paid to stay.
You're listening to Rogers Game Night on the official voice of the Edmonton Oilers, 880 CHAD, and on the Oilers Radio Network.
It's still there. We know what we have to do. We want to be skating, be able to put pressure and put them in difficult situations when you can. And I think all the guys on the penalty kill understand that and understand when we need to pressure, when we need to be, to have that high intensity and make it difficult on them.
There you go. That is the Edmonton Oilers' Adam Henrique. This is the Rogers Game Night Show, courtesy of Rogers, proud partner and fan of the Edmonton Oilers. We're in the Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. Legacy Heating and Cooling, home and no payments and no interest for 1 year. Jack Michaels has the call of the entire Western Conference Final. Cam Moon, Rob Brown, Brendan Escott pinch hitting tonight for Bryn Griffiths. Bryn Griffiths, myself, Bob Stauffer, all part of the Oilers Radio Network. Our studio producers, Eamon Hashem at the helm tonight, and Kellen Kennedy. And our longtime engineer here in Dallas is Bill Geiger. Do want to mention to you right here, right now, that this is a big game for these two respective teams. There's no question about it. The Edmonton Oilers have got to find a way to get a split out of Dallas. And as you heard Jack and Rob allude to, the reality of the situation is the Oilers look to be in pretty good shape through two periods, but Dallas lit them up on the power play, and that's what Adam Henrique was talking about, improving the work on the penalty kill. The Oilers Kids in OilCountry Playoffs 50-50 presented by Rogers is now live. This raffle features 100 prizes, the most offered in a single Oilers 50-50 raffle. Tonight, you can win 500,000 Scene Plus points and $10,000 cash. The main jackpot's already over $1.4 million, and the playoff jackpot is over $4.2 million. Get your tickets now at EdmontonOilers.com/5050 for more chances to win. We will go to Legacy Heating and Cooling. Who's hot and who's not? Legacy Heating and Cooling home and no payments and no interest for 1 year. We will tell you that the Edmonton Oilers' Connor McDavid, in 7 career playoff games against the Dallas Stars, has 3 goals and 12 points. He picked up a couple of assists. McDavid's getting the points. He's leading all players with playoff assists, but he's only shooting the puck at 7%. There could be more to come for Connor. To the out-of-town scoreboard presented by Pizza 73, the official pizza of your Edmonton Oilers. Last night, Florida walloped the Carolina Hurricanes, second consecutive game in Raleigh. As a result, the defending Stanley Cup champions outscored the opposition 22-4 in their last 4 road games. And they're up 2-0 in their series as they return back to Sunrise for Game 3 tomorrow. Memorial Cup's getting started tonight. Host Rimouski, the Quebec League runner-up, and the Medicine Hat Tigers, the Western Hockey League champion, which features Gavin McKenna. They are tied 1-1 after 1. And at one point, the shots were 13-5 for the Hat in the first period. And they were all over them. The Ford Keys to the Game, brought to you by Ford, the official partner of the Edmonton Oilers, built Ford proud. For Edmonton, it's simple. More discipline and also a recognition that Dallas is going to be better 5-on-5. The Oilers are going to have to bring their A game tonight to get a split here out of Dallas. There's an old saying that in the best of 7, a series never starts until somebody loses at home. Edmonton may as well try to find a way to make that happen tonight. Jake Ottinger starts for Dallas. Stuart Skinner for the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers carrying a 3-1 lead into the third period, and they finished the game at 58% expected goals for. But the Stars sliced and diced them. 3 goals in less than 48 seconds offensive zone time on the power play. 3 goals and 3 for 3, and it switched and flipped the game, and the Stars won Game 1, 6-3. Jack Michaels is up next. He'll have the play-by-play call. Game 2 of the Western Conference Final. The Oilers looking to even the series when we return on Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
At Fountain Tire, we're all about one thing: taking care of your vehicle. Oh, and your wallet. I guess that's 2 things. Save up to 20% off select tires until June 14th. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
You can't win it all without a great team, and Portage College is ready to see you through your educational journey. With certificates, diplomas, apprenticeships, degree pathways, and micro-credentials, Portage College has options for everyone. Take advantage of their small class sizes and true community feel, and you'll have all the support you need to complete your education and take your next step on the way to greatness. Visit portagecollege.ca to learn more about Portage College's programs and services. Portage College. It's about you.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. You know, Alberta's a special place. From the Rockies to the Plains, it's a land of hard work and big dreams. If you're going to tackle it all, you need a truck that can keep up. That's why I can't say enough about my Ford F-150. It's more than a truck. It's a partner. Rugged toughness, serious capability, and smart features that make your life easier, like available Pro Power onboard. The Ford F-150. Get yours today at your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
Our people, our team. It's what business owners almost always say is their most important resource. But strong businesses don't just find great people. They make sure their teams stay healthy, engaged, and performing at their best. A benefits plan from Alberta Blue Cross is more than just drug and dental. They support the whole person with flexible coverage levels that fit the size and circumstance of your business. Find a plan that gets results at ab.bluecross.ca.
At Fountain Tire, we're all about one thing, taking care of your vehicle. Oh, and your wallet. I guess that's two things. Save up to 20% off select tires until June 14th. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Now, tonight's exclusive NHL broadcast.
Shoots and scores! But now it's Draisaitl off to Connor McDavid. Centers Kane for the hat trick. He scores!
All the action called by the voices who know the game inside and out.
This crowd explodes!
Bob Stauffer and Jack Michaels on the Oilers Radio Network.
Game 2 of the Western Conference Final from American Airlines Center alongside Bob Stauffer. I'm Jack Michaels with the play-by-play of this one. The Edmonton Oilers having frittered away a 3-1 lead in the third period and becoming just the third team in the history of the Stanley Cup playoffs to give up 5 goals in the third period. A final of 6-3 for the Dallas Stars. Let's hit your starting lineup brought to you by our friends at Coventry Homes, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers. For Edmonton, it's McDavid in the middle, flanked by Nugent Hopkins and Hyman Bouchard and Kulak defensively, and Stuart Skinner in the pipes for Dallas. Rope Hintz flanked by Granlund and Rantanen, Heiskanen and Esa Lindell on the ice. To start the game, we're underway with Edmonton having controlled the opening face-off, but offside, coming over the line left to right. And how about Dallas going 5 Finns to start for this Game 2 of the Western Conference Final? And Bob, up until the third period, those were the players that had been producing for Dallas offensively.
100%. They're real good players. No question about it.
Heiskanen up the right-hand side, spilled in. This is going to be an icing call against Mikko Rantanen. He was not yet at center. Dallas in its victory green, outlined in white and black. Edmonton in the white, trimmed with orange and blue. And the Oilers come within a whisker of winning their 5th consecutive game on the road on Wednesday night. Again, the 3 power play goals against in the first 6 minutes of the third period. It's only the second time that's happened in the Stanley Cup playoffs since 1934.
It's amazing how many times the Oilers are in and around numbers like that, Jack.
Positive and negative.
Yes.
Here's Connor McDavid winning the faceoff. Quickly swept over by Bouchard and a shot by Kulak. A juicy rebound issued by Ottinger and a steal by Bouchard and an attempted clear. But his backdoor play intended for Hyman is broken up, and the Stars will be guilty of icing once again, which allows me to tell you that our referees tonight are Jean Hebert and Garrett Rank. The linesmen are Bevan Mills and Devin Berg. And again, it's Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer with you. High atop Cavernous American Airlines Center, host to 18,532 people. Yesterday at Katy Perry concert, Bob came by with a slew of T-shirts. You did very well for yourself.
Oh, thank you for that. Yes.
Off the draw. Here's Rantanen down the right wing boards, and he's checked off the puck by Darnell Nurse, paired with Troy Stetcher tonight. It's Draisaitl with a backhand pass, neatly handled by Podkolzin, and then twisted back to Stetcher by Draisaitl, left point Nurse, and then funneled down low. Ottinger will take a piece as Podkolzin was ridden into the goalpost. Draisaitl briefly held it in. Stetcher trying to find Kapanen, instead put the puck outside the zone. He'll carry it back in and wind it around, picked up by Podkolzin on the left half boards and flicked by Kapanen, intended for Draisaitl, who had a goal and 2 assists, factored in all 3 Edmonton goals on Wednesday, and was at the top of his game, but Edmonton wasted it, and now off a dump in, it'll be Adam Henrique giving way to Nurse. He'll reset.
Jack, I know the Oilers were in chase mode in the third. I thought they were less effective when they loaded up McDavid and Draisaitl. But they were better when they had those guys centering their own lines.
They only had 6 shots in the third period, Bob, and that was in come-from-behind mode for the last 15 minutes. Klingberg tried to hit Brown, who spun it wide for Adam Henrique after flubbing the initial one-timer. And Edmonton has gotten some looks early on in this hockey game. Marchment with a backhand clear, and finally the Stars are out. But this game, too, looking very much like game 1 in terms of Edmonton and territorial domination. Marchment ahead to Matt Duchene, a backhander with Skinner coming way out to cut off the angle. The save made by the Oiler goaltender, and it's cleared back through the middle and recovered by Heiskanen at his own blue line. Stars right to left in this first period. Sent down low. Jason Robertson bumped down to the 4th line. Stars have made a couple changes. Edmonton, no personnel changes. It's Bouchard, a little give and go with Matthias Janmark swept around the corner. One of those changes, Colin Blackwell taken down, as he was the guy who scored the game winner in game 2 of the first round series against Colorado. Drive by Kulak left point, and that was blocked. Robertson clears. So Blackwell in, coming out as Oscar Beck, and then on defense is Edmonton-born Alex Petrovic. He's reinserted into the lineup with Ilya Lyubushkin coming out. Sam Steele from Sherwood Park for Dallas up through center.
Hey, you know what? With Petrovic, they don't play him in the regular season. He only comes in for the playoffs.
21 playoff games the last 2 years for the Dallas Stars, Bob. 6 regular season games. Just to illustrate your point, we've got a hand pass whistled against Dallas. A neutral zone face-off upcoming with 3 minutes gone in the scoreless first period, and each team with a shot on net. Bob and I high atop American Airlines Center, and when you find us, you'll find us in our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. Legacy, home of no payments, no interest for 1 year, and now they changed their mind. They're going to bring the face-off back inside the Dallas zone, which is curious, of course, because a hand pass from within the zone.
Yeah. Tell you this, Edmonton's had some good opportunities already the first 3 minutes.
McDavid won the draw. Nugent Hopkins, a blast by Nurse, and that was blocked. Nurse unable to get it through. Mikhail Granlund, who had goal and an assist for the Stars in the third period of game 1. He'll force it down low. Picked up by Randon. Granlund, a shot. Save. Skinner rebound off of Skinner's mask. Came out to Thomas Harley, who was not on the score sheet in game 1. Takes a long wrist shot that's easily gobbled up by Skinner. And he'll freeze it with a face-off coming to his left.
Bit of an I got it, you got it routine with the Oilers forwards. And Dallas got a second chance opportunity after nobody went to the puck in the high slot.
Rope Hintz had a couple of swings and a rebound right in front of Stuart Skinner. 21 and 19 lifetime in the playoffs, and that shutout streak he put together of 142 minutes and 42 seconds was the 4th longest in the history of the Edmonton Oilers. Yes, Cujo has the record. Off the draw, won by Draisaitl, cleared by Jake Wallman. Down to one knee to field that puck was Harley. Didn't handle it cleanly. Recovered and cleared by Heiskanen up through center. Grabbed by John Klingberg, the former Dallas Star, has his high slot pass intended for Podkolzin deflected into the waiting arms of Jake Ottinger, who's 32 and 27 lifetime in the postseason, 24 saves for Dallas in Game 1. But neither you or I, Bob, thought he was lights out in Game 1.
No, you know what, Jack? You brought up I did not know this. What's the stat regarding the wins by American goaltenders? Did not know this.
Yeah, he only has 32 victories in the postseason, but that's good enough for 4th all-time in the history of U.S.-born goaltenders. 3rd is Mike Richter. 2nd is Jonathan Quick. And the man with the most Stanley Cup playoff victories born in the United States, Tom Barrasso, won a couple of cups in Pittsburgh.
Jack, we got a quick load-up here for the Oilers. They got McDavid and Draisaitl on the ice with Corey Perry.
Perry was on the Stars team that lost the 2020 Stanley Cup Final to Tampa in 6 games. Face-off win for the Stars. Jamie Benn did not get it out. He was hit hard by Perry, and now Perry's on the puck. Got it through Wyatt Johnston. Draisaitl, cross-ice, reach shot, and that stayed out. Woolman missed the net, glove side, and it clotted off the corner boards all the way down the ice. Bob, I agree with you. I didn't love McDavid and Draisaitl together in the 3rd period on Wednesday, but here they are early on Friday night in Game 2. Draisaitl with a giveaway. Marchment with a steal, juggled the puck momentarily, and then a poor backhand pass too far for Sagan, who led up and allowed Edmonton to draw an icing call. And Marchment a little panicky with the puck that time because that appeared as though the Stars might get a real good scoring chance out of it.
Well, Wallman got a terrific chance, and Heiskanen took away sort of the lower half, the inside angle. He tried to shoot around him, missed the net on a Draisaitl backhand pass through the slot from 60 feet away. And Leon can do that.
Jake Woolman, Marchment cannot. Woolman plus 11, tied for 2nd in the league in plus-minus rating behind only Eetu Luostarinen. How about Florida?
That 3rd line's unreal.
The Panthers, a wagon right now, trucked Carolina
they kicked the
in the
snot
first
out of
2
them
games.
last night. That was a...
Well, and Game 1 wasn't much better.
No.
Henrique off the face-off, sees the puck roll through his defensemen, Kulak and Bouchard, who fall back to their own blue line. It's Kulak up the left-hand side looking for Evander Kane, broken up. Juggled momentarily at center by Matt Duchene, knocked off his stick by Connor Brown, and quickly advanced through by Esa Lindell. Reaching for the puck is Sagan, who had 2 goals and an assist in Wednesday night's 6-3 Dallas victory. Again, Marchment fighting that puck, barely got it into the half wall. Bouchard quickly through, and it's sent in deep by Kulak. Cody Ceci up the right-hand side, didn't get it out, but Sam Steele, who's had a strong postseason, won a puck battle and now has the puck at center. Breaks in right-hand side, waits, pulls up, shoots, and missed the net. Rebound kept alive by Liam Bichel. Boy, Sam Steele has looked like a player in this Stanley Cup playoffs. He has had a real strong postseason and didn't miss the net by much. Bichel, 6'7", 235 pounds, 21 years of age, and yet he covered up against 40-year-old Corey Perry at the end of Game 1. Mikko Rantanen will jam it in for Dallas. Steele, in hot pursuit of that puck, comes up with it, and then stripped from behind. Then a hard hit on Troy Stecher on Mikael Granlund, and it will be called boarding likely against Granlund here. Time of the penalty, 5:34, and Edmonton awarded the first power play of the game. The Oilers converted a power play in the 2nd period of Game 1 and then misfired on 2 others, so they were 1 for 3. Granlund, none too happy with the call, but he'll go to the box.
Well, the argument might be that Troy Spetcher
kind of turned into it.
Spin back into that position.
Number 64.
So Edmonton on the power play nearly 26% in the postseason, behind only Dallas and Carolina. And they've got an opportunity here to grab what they did in the first period of Game 1, and that's a relatively early lead. McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman, Nugent Hopkins, and Bouchard, the Atco power play quintet. Atco, your trusted Alberta energy retailer. Here's the face-off to the right side of Ottinger. Draisaitl won it from Wyatt Johnston. Bouchard hits McDavid right circle. Just outside the face-off dot, he'll spin, deliver a pass back to Bouchard. Now it's McDavid. Draisaitl. Deep right corner. Bouchard. One-timer. Tipped home. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Power play goal. And it's 1-0 Edmonton.
Well, the Oilers get a fortuitous ricochet, but that's why you put pucks on the net. They create chaos. They don't waste any time at all. 17 seconds into the power play. Draisaitl to Bouchard. It may have picked up a piece of Hyman's stick in the high slot. It did not. It's going to be Ryan Nugent-Hopkins from Evan Bouchard and Leon Draisaitl. And so that will be RNH's 5th goal of the playoffs.
It was a tip by a Dallas player who came out to challenge, got a healthy piece of that puck. I think it was Rope Hintz who got a piece of that puck, and it skittered right to Nugent-Hopkins, who was able to tip it home. 1-0 Edmonton. Nugent-Hopkins, 5th of the postseason. He had a goal and an assist in the second period of Wednesday night's Game 1, and he's back on the board here in Game 2. Sagan wins the center ice face-off from Draisaitl, and it's a reset for the Stars, but Edmonton has taken the lead in Game 2. And now we had a puck exit the zone, and when Kapanen brought it back in, it was whistled down for an offside. So with 6 minutes gone by in the first period, we'll take time out. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, a power play goal for the Edmonton Oilers. They lead Game 2, 1-0. This is 4 Dealers NHL Hockey and continuing coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs of the Oilers Radio Network.
Did you know that there are 9 Napa Auto Parts stores serving the greater Edmonton area and have been doing so for more than 50 years? Since Napa first opened in Edmonton, the community has grown and vehicles have changed, but you can always trust Napa Auto Parts to provide you with the expert know-how and the best vehicle parts. And if that isn't enough, every time you visit a Napa Auto Parts store when you present your AMA card, you receive an additional 10% discount on all retail parts and accessories. Visit your local Napa Auto Parts store for more offers and expert know-how. Napa Auto Parts is a proud fan of the Edmonton Oilers.
Chemco is more than just a trusted local name. Chemco has been building industry across Canada for more than 60 years. From engineering through to commissioning, construction, maintenance, and beyond, Chemco's multidiscipline approach stands firmly on the belief that Chemco cares. It's not just what they do, it's how they do it. Visit Chemco.com and discover how they can support your project today. Chemco, proud fans of the Edmonton Oilers, serving and supporting communities across Canada for over 60 years.
Proudly headquartered in oil country, Capital Power is delivering reliable and affordable power today while building clean power systems for tomorrow, creating the balanced energy solutions communities across Alberta and North America can depend on. Visit capitalpower.com to learn how they are powering change by changing power. Be part of their energy and join Capital Power as we all cheer on our Edmonton Oilers on their quest to win it all.
All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins at 5:51 of the first period has scored a power play goal. Rope Hintz came out to challenge. It was tipped, went right to Nugent-Hopkins, and he buried it. Bouchard, the man with the initial shot, and as Bob indicated, Leon Draisaitl will pick up his second assist, and that leaves him tied with Mikko Rantanen for the league lead in points, 20 for Draisaitl and Rantanen thus far in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The neutral zone faceoff controlled by Dallas.
That's why you put the puck on the net, Jack.
Bouchard a steal in the neutral zone. He'll carry it in, give it up. Hyman a shot, and that's held by Jake Ottinger, who, again, at times has been made to look ordinary by the Edmonton Oilers, and he joins a lengthy list of goaltenders who've been made to look rather ordinary, but the reason I bring it up is he has been so outstanding against virtually everyone else and just outplayed Connor Hellebuck, who's going to be the runaway Vezina winner.
But the Oilers can score. That is part of it.
Against anybody.
Against anybody.
Off the draw. It doesn't matter how good your goaltender is or thinks he is. The Edmonton Oilers can be a great cure for overconfidence for any goaltender, and now the Oilers off that draw are going to be whistled for an offside as Bouchard tried to pound it back in, with Edmonton having neglected to tag back up. And Nugent-Hopkins, McDavid, and Hyman will depart the ice, replaced by Evander Kane's line, which tonight features, of course, Adam Henrique at center and Connor Brown on the right-hand side.
I mean, this is a big game for that line. It's big game for a lot of lines, but you know what I'm saying. It can't just be Leon and Connor's lines.
Nurse shoots it in. Grabbed by Granlund. Up to Rantanen. Tried to slide it through to Hintz. Nudged one on net. Skinner just flicked it into the corner. And it was played up the right-hand side and out by Troy Stetcher. Adam Henrique with Ceci coming over on him. Cody Ceci the last 3 years with Edmonton. A couple of trips to the Western Conference Final and one to the Stanley Cup Final. Hintz engages Darnell Nurse. Rantanen tried to give it back to his line mate, but had it disrupted by Stetcher. Now fighting for possession is Granlund, who took the penalty to set Edmonton up with the power play, which they converted. Ceci in front, stolen away by Adam Henrique. Good defensive play, and Connor Brown makes certain of a clear up the right-hand board. Ceci, wearing number 44 in Dallas, will leave it in the corner for Thomas Harley. Harley's lead pass. Nearly stolen by Janmark. Jason Robertson, he's been struggling. Told me this morning, I'm nowhere close right now. I'm not getting enough chances. I got to keep my feet moving and stay connected on my line. And his line is the fourth line tonight. Blackwell to the point for Heiskanen. Slide step to his left. Boy, he's so smooth. Lindell. Shot Robertson. Loose. Robertson again, and a glove save made by Stuart Skinner. Robertson's best chance of the series. And then some hard work in, and we might have a penalty here on Edmonton.
It is. Corey Perry's, I think, going to get it. I'm sorry, you can't do that. You can't do it.
Blackwell drew it. And indeed, Corey Perry will be sent to the box. Perry took one of the 3 penalties that Edmonton coughed up in game 1.
Number 90, 2 minutes, roughing.
So the Dallas Stars gifted a power play, having gone 3 for 4 in scoring on their last 3 the other night.
I mean, Skinner makes a great save. There's no concern. What are you doing? I mean, I don't know if that should have been to Perry, but there's no need for that. By the way, we talked about the fact that, Ottinger, the Oilers are the team that's gotten them. Well, they're the highest scoring team that's been in the playoffs each of the last 3 years. Like, over that 3-year run, Edmonton, highest scoring team that's played more than one round of the playoffs.
Off the draw, won by Henrique. And I'm not blaming Ottinger, but Bob, my point is you can't go into a series against Edmonton and rely on a supposed goaltending advantage, because the Oilers are going to negate that.
They can score.
Here's Rope Hintz. Duchesne forced it back behind the Edmonton net. Skinner with a turnover. Mikko Rantanen from the right corner. Duchesne, Heiskanen, Rantanen right corner again. Pestered by Janmark. Up top, Brown will crowd Heiskanen. Back to Rantanen in the corner. Across, wrist shot. And that stayed out. Taken by Matt Duchesne, who scored the game winner on the power play on Wednesday night. Tugged free by Rantanen. He'll send it across to Duchesne, who turned it over and allowed an Edmonton clear by Matthias Janmark.
Oh, real good pressure there from the combination of Janmark and Brown, but Dallas almost freed up a look at the Oilers. Jack, they were lucky that puck didn't ricochet into the net.
Here's Mikael Granlund breaking across the blue line. McDavid is out on the kill with Zach Hyman. Nurse and Wallman centering pass, that was tipped. Grabbed by Sagan, and he turned it over. And now you've got McDavid, a 2-on-1 with Hyman. McDavid to the net, shoots off the post. And the rebound over to Sagan, whose turnover led to that chance. And that was a hard shot from McDavid. Robertson off the rush, stopped by Skinner. From the high slot, the rebound grabbed by Hyman. He turned it over. And Dallas given new life here. Controlling is Robertson. Up to Granlund. One-timer Sagan had it blocked by Wallman and out of play. With 10:35 to go in this first period and 18 seconds left in the Napa Auto Parts penalty kill.
Well, Stuart Skinner with a couple of pretty good saves here, and what a chance for McDavid. And he went short side blocker.
Had him beat.
And
hit the goalpost.
Had him beat clean.
Got the benefit of a few posts in game 1. Off the draw. Wyatt Johnston, just 10 seconds left on this power play for Dallas. Johnston's been very quiet. 1 goal, 1 point in his last 8 games, and he's minus 13 over that stretch. Here's a toss by Henrique into the corner, and that will do it for the Edmonton penalty kill. Corey Perry out of the box. This time his penalty does not cost the Oilers. And now Perry with a steal at center. He's got Leon Draisaitl. 3-on-2. Perry centers. Draisaitl denied by Ottinger, who lunged out and got it with the right pad as Draisaitl tried to redirect at home. Stars had a chance to clear. Great job by Nurse to hold it in, albeit momentarily. And now you've got Dadonov. He's been quiet as well this postseason. Johnston will twist it down low. Dadonov coming off his 5th 20-goal season. Nurse lead pass broken up, but the Stars were unable to get it in deep. Draisaitl hits the Dallas line, knifed off his stick. Rantanen wants an outlet from Ceci. That's slow in coming. It was deflected and grabbed by Hintz in full stride. That's got to be offside. Granlund was not moving. Hintz was, and as a result, the timing of the play thrown off, and it's an offside whistled against Dallas, and we'll take timeout. 9:27 to go in the first period. Edmonton has converted its first power play of the game and killed Dallas's first power play. Nugent Hopkins, goal the difference right now. It's 1-0 Edmonton. This is game 2 of the Western Conference Final. The Oilers Radio Network.
Ready to score big on your outdoor space? It's game time with Park Landscaping. Transform your backyard into a winning arena with Park Landscaping's expert team. From design to maintenance of lush lawns and state-of-the-art synthetic turf to inviting pools and captivating water features, Park Landscaping will make your outdoor space the MVP. Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in the game with Park Landscaping. Call 780-486-2744 today or email info@parklandscaping.ca.
Hey folks, Paul Brandt here. Around these parts, we work hard, play hard, and we demand the best. Sometimes you need a truck that's a cut above. The Ford Super Duty. Tough enough for any job with the style and luxury you deserve. It's as powerful as it is refined, with cutting-edge features that make every drive a pleasure. In short, this ain't your everyday pickup. The Ford Super Duty. Drive the finest truck Alberta has to offer today at your Alberta Ford dealer. And tell them PV sent you.
Rogers is Canada's largest and most reliable 5G network. We're made for Oilers fans. You can stream Leon scoring in Leduc. Watch Tide tie things up in Tofield. Or check out Connor doing Connor things in Kalmar. And even watch Stewart steal the show while you're in Sedalia. Try saying that 3 times fast. Rogers, proud partner and fan of your Edmonton Oilers.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Just want to clarify one thing for the first 10 minutes. Bob and I had a chance to delve further into that scrum, which resulted in Colin Blackwell being flung to the ice. And while it appeared as though the guilty party was Corey Perry, there was actually a stray arm belonging to Trent Frederick that yanked him down. So Perry, perhaps by reputation, ushered into the penalty box. In any event, Edmonton killed it off. No harm, no foul. 1-0 Oilers here halfway through the first period. The aforementioned Trent Frederick is on the ice, and a neutral zone faceoff ultimately pulled free by Edmonton. Nurse and Stetcher trade, and it's bumped in by Frederick. Janmark plays center on this line, and now a centering pass got through to Evander Kane from Frederick, and Kane had it go off the heel of his stick. Stetcher to Nurse. Long shot, clean look at it, and a glove save made by Jake Ottinger. 9:02 to go in the first period, and it's 1-0 Edmonton on a power play goal by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
So Alex Petrovic on the ice with Evander Kane. And,
he lost 3 fights in one game.
It wasn't exactly Ward Gotti with the trilogy.
No. It was 3 one-sided affairs.
But you give Petrovic credit. He kept on coming back for more and sticking his chin out there. And Evander landed a couple bombs on him. This was Buffalo, Florida back in the day.
So now digging in Wyatt Johnston beats McDavid off the face-off, and a long stretch from Lindell does not make it through. Broken up by Bouchard. McDavid on the counterattack. In turn stripped. Heiskanen will give it up left side for Jamie Benn. Dallas captain called himself a checker when Wayne Gretzky visited the Dallas room following the Stars' 6-game series win against Winnipeg. McDavid on the puck retrieval at his own blue line. Wired in by Nugent Hopkins. Came off the plexi and hacked away from Hyman by Esa Lindell. Ben did not get it out of the zone. Lindell will, and that puck is settled and corralled and resetting is Jake Wallman out there with his partner John Klingberg, who was so instrumental in that Dallas club that made hay in the bubble, went all the way to the 2020 final. Stars unable to get it out. And then an errant pass from Draisaitl chases everyone back. Klingberg will catch up to it as Skinner leaves it for him. Wound around to put Colson at center ice. He misfired on a pass intended for Kapanen, and Harley immediately redirected it back through center. It's Klingberg back through the middle. That's going to be on net, set by Ottinger for Harley.
Does Marchman try to draw calls or what?
Stretch play to Matt Duchene, a shot and a save made by Stuart Skinner. The problem for that with Mason Marchman is the refs are onto him. 7:39 to go in the first period, and it's 1-0 for the Edmonton Oilers. And again, Marchman, back-to-back 20-goal campaigns for the Dallas Stars. He's just got one in the postseason. So lots of things to go over for both hockey clubs coming into Game 2.
Leon Draisaitl went in, and Marchman gave him a little bit of a shot. So Draisaitl gave him a little bit of a love tap, chop with the stick, and Marchman flung his hand up in the air and tried to embellish and induce the call.
Face-off win for Rope Hintz. Bischel to Granlund. Top of the left circle. Shot off the post. That beats Skinner cleanly glove side. I'm not sure how much he saw of it. The rebound whacked away from Evander Kane. Rantanen looking for Hintz. He'll brush it over to Granlund, who just hit the goalpost. Bischel, left corner. Granlund behind the net. Peering inside. Granlund chipped it in front, and Hintz couldn't stuff it home. It's still available. Side of the net. Grabbed by Stetcher. He'll escape. Punished by Granlund and held in for the moment by Petrovic, and now finally tugged free. And the Oilers come up ice, but that disappeared into one of the two player benches. And because it originated from the Edmonton zone, this faceoff will be to the left of Stuart Skinner.
Jack, the Dallas Stars are selling out on the forecheck against the pairing of Nurse and Stetcher. They're really trying to push it. They're backing off a bit when it's Bouchard on the ice with Kulak and when it's Wallman with Klingberg, but they're trying to put Nurse and Stetcher under duress.
Blackwell will take the face-off against Leon Draisaitl. Fourth line out for Dallas. Sam Steele and the struggling Jason Robertson, who got hurt in the last regular season game, missed the Colorado series, and since coming back has just 2 assists in 7 games.
But he can break out at any time.
He can. 40 goals 3 years ago, 29 2 years ago, 35 this year. Steele won the face-off after being moved in, and a shot by Harley missed upstairs on Stuart Skinner. Rebound to Draisaitl. He'll chip it off the board, settled down at center by Harley. Put it across for Robertson, not ready to field that pass, then wrestled it free from Janmark, but the play was offside against Dallas, who was outshot Edmonton 10-7 with 6:47 to go in this first period, and the Oilers holding a 1-0 lead. Power play goal, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, his 22nd career Stanley Cup playoff goal.
Well, McDavid hitting the crossbar post on a 2-on-1 shorthanded, then Draisaitl robbed. Real good save by Ottinger, and a nice setup from Corey Perry on a slow developing 3-on-2. Edmonton's had their chances here to add to the lead.
And then Granlund hit a post for Dallas. Face-off win for Wyatt Johnston. Hoisted up top by Liam Bischel. Grabbed by Kulak in his own zone. Ben forces a giveaway. Wyatt Johnston against Janmark. And another 30-goal campaign did Wyatt Johnston. He's battling, engaged in the corner. Ben getting worked over, drive by Petrovac, and that stayed out. I'm not sure how much Skinner saw that. A lot of bodies in front, and Edmonton able to angle one back through center. Frederick and Perry up ice trying to create havoc, but taken away by Jamie Benn. And the Stars captain will send Wyatt Johnston in on the forecheck against Brett Kulak. Getting some help from Dodonov. McDavid close by, able to peel that puck out of danger, and then a soft chip ahead for Frederick. He'll back his way at the blue line and conservatively reset as Marchment once again goes right at McDavid and tries to get inside his sweater.
That was a peck. He should have been called.
Here's Kulak. Off of 1 foot up the right-hand side. That was deflected. Backhanded toward the middle. Now McDavid a steal. Riding off a check from Matt Duchene, and the shot up top is speared by Ottinger at the expense of Jake Wollman. But that was on net. And Ottinger able to make his 7th save. Keeping the game 1-0 Edmonton. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins power play goal the difference. 5.5 to go first period. This is game 2 of the Western Conference Final on 4 Dealers, NHL Hockey, and the Oilers Radio Network.
Hey, Edmonton. Big moves need big talent, and AMJ is your go-to partner. For all local residential and commercial relocations, AMJ delivers a smooth, stress-free experience. AMJ, your team for every move. Contact your local branch today.
Athletes know that to advance your career, you've got to be part of a winning team. So, what about you? Are you working for a winning team? Well, here's your chance to do just that. Brandt is a strong and stable industry leader with career opportunities across Canada. We have hundreds of positions available right now, from parts, sales, positioning technology, heavy-duty mechanics, and more. Be a part of a winning team. Earn your stripes by joining Brandt today. Find out more at BrandtJobs.com.
End of the Road Flooring Centers is not only Canadian owned and operated, but we've been your go-to flooring center since 1986. The reason is simple. We make your flooring project easier. Rather than a tiny sample, upload a photo of your room at endoftheroll.com and instantly see what your dream flooring looks like in your house. Thousands of styles just clicks away. End of the Roll Flooring Centers. We've been flooring Canadians for 4 decades. Visit endoftheroll.com.
12870 St. Albert Trail and now open at 580 Parsons Road Southwest.
Hey, Edmonton. Big moves need big talent, and AMJ is your go-to partner. For all local residential and commercial relocations, AMJ delivers a smooth, stress-free experience. AMJ, your team for every move. Contact your local branch today.
All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Well, typically the Edmonton Oilers shrug off a Game 1 defeat. In their history, they're actually 14-10 in best-of-7 series when they dropped the first game. The exception is the Dallas Stars. They're 0-5 against the Stars when they start with a Game 1 defeat. They're trying to change that history, having blown Game 1, leading 3-1 in the third, dropped a 6-3 decision. But up 1-0 in Game 2, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins a power play goal. Face-off won by Dallas at its own end, and Esa Lindell will shoot it in from center. Quickly, Wallman up to Bouchard, not out of the zone. Granlund knocked off balance by Zach Hyman, the league's hit leader, with 90 coming in thus far in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Nurse tried to hit Draisaitl, tipped to McDavid instead, defended by Heiskanen, and still got a shot away. And a save made by Jake Ottinger, but I don't mind the fact that McDavid is looking to shoot here in this first period. Wallman, down low, Heiskanen, the steal against McDavid. He'll carry it to center, chip it up the right-hand side, and Rope Hintz never located the puck. Granlund did, gave Nugent-Hopkins a pop, and Edmonton will finish off a line change as Bouchard quarterbacks in his own zone. 4.5 to play in the first period. Edmonton 1, Dallas no score. Draisaitl hits Podkolzin, whiffs on a shot, then tried to center off of Ottinger and somehow stayed out. Cleared off the blue paint by Cody Ceci. And Ottinger continues to swim at times in this series. It's Draisaitl. Tried to give it back to the point. Under duress, Ceci trying to pry it loose. Those two extremely good friends off the ice. But here grabbed by Thomas Harley of the Dallas Stars, up the middle. Steele absorbs a poke check, got it through Colin Blackwell on to Jason Robertson. Then Blackwell stapled back behind the net, pinching hard as Harlan. Cap Kapanen working him over. Kapanen ended the Vegas series. Harley, centering pass, intercepted. And the Oilers will bust out. But Cole's on the steal. Gets it back from Kapanen, tried to return it, but that went off a skate and back to the Edmonton line. Stetcher to Kapanen, just inside the Dallas Blue. He'll force it down low. Ottinger sealed it off for Bischel. Bischel waited a hair too long and then fired a pass intended for Marchment that somehow was not called icing. They waved it off immediately, curiously enough. Connor Brown, a little give and go with Evander Kane. Back through the middle, Petrovic there to cut it off. He'll send it off the glass back to center. Out of the reach of Adam Henrique, and the Stars will pick it up and shoot it in. Matt Duchene doing the honors. Jumping up is Petrovic to hold the zone. Fluttered one toward the net, carefully swept into the corner by Stuart Skinner. Duchene, double team on the left half boards. Can't control and just swept right out of there by Adam Henrique. Stetcher to Nurse, and both teams will make wholesale changes in personnel. Shots on goal, 10-9 Dallas in this first period. 2:45 remaining, clock running. Nugent Hopkins, the game's only goal. A dump in by Matthias Janmark, who broke into the league with the Dallas Stars. In fact, had a career-high 19 goals in a Dallas Kelly Green uniform. Here's Dodonov trying to center. That was broken up by Klingberg. Behind the net, Wyatt Johnston. Immediately on him is Brett Kulak. Corey Perry tried to wedge it safely out. Klingberg tried to help him out. Still in the zone, Dodonov. Down low for Jamie Benn from behind the net. Sets up CC, a shot. And that stayed out. And the rebound all the way off the Dashers and back inside the Dallas blue line as we come up on 2 minutes to play in this opening period. Harley backhands one ahead for Mikko Rantanen. Soft saucer across. Lindell, a shot, and that ricocheted into the corner. Oilers come up with a puck. It's Nugent Hopkins jitterbugging his way to center, and then he sent it off the glove of Heiskanen, who knocked it down and in one motion weaves his way through center to Lindell. He tried to shoot it in, didn't get it in cleanly, partially tipped, and that allowed Bouchard to give it right back to Granlund. Granlund was situated at the blue line, and Bouchard handed it right to him. Now it's Mikko Rantanen against McDavid. McDavid, the clean steal, and it's a 3-on-2 for Edmonton. Left to right, McDavid with the puck, gives it up. Nugent Hopkins tied up with Heiskanen. And that's the value of having Miro Heiskanen back at full strength, Bob. It was the first time in Game 1 that Dallas felt comfortable dressing just 6 defensemen and giving Heiskanen 24 minutes. He broke up that 3-on-2 like he knew exactly what Edmonton was doing. Here's Darnell Nurse. Off a Dallas dumping with a minute to go in the period. Lead pass, Kasperi Kapanen. Now it's Draisaitl building speed through the neutral zone. Heading for the Dallas net. Tried to center for Kapanen. Broken up. Draisaitl with a steal. Quick shot, but Colson rebound available. And Kapanen thought he was hauled down. No penalty called. Ottinger got a piece, but it was sitting right there on the blue pane, and Kapanen missed it. Now you've got Draisaitl heading to the net. Had a goal and 2 assists in Game 1. Wrapped up here by Harley, and that's going to be a penalty. A no-doubter. Harley horse-collared him to the ice with 30 seconds to go in this first period, and the Oilers presented with a golden opportunity to go up 2 before the break.
Minor penalty for holding.
I mean, that's just an easy call, and it's because Harley's frustrated because he can't get to the puck. That's the value of Leon Draisaitl and the power forward status he enjoys in the league. When he wants to make himself wide, you just cannot get the puck.
Well, he won the puck battle, got inside positioning, horse collar to the ice. I mean, they got Des Bryant in the building right now, and he's saying to himself, there's cornerbacks and safeties that had problems hauling him down like that. Oilers get their second power play of the game. They're 2 for 4 in this series. And Jack, sometimes we've seen late in periods when Edmonton's on the power play, they quickly put pucks to the net. That's how they scored on the last power play. Get it to the net, attack the net, create some chaos. Got to win draws, too. Got to win draws.
Draisaitl on the face-off, and Dallas did a reasonable job on draws, but here, Draisaitl won it cleanly against Colin Blackwell. And now you've got McDavid in front, broken up by CC and cleared by Blackwell down the ice. Skinner ahead to Bouchard. Still plenty of time for Edmonton here. 15 seconds. Bouchard on to the on-rushing McDavid. Building speed across the line, coughed it up. Dallas nudges it to Sam Steele. He'll wire it down the ice, and that'll be all for the opening 20 minutes. The Oilers will get a clean sheet of ice and a power play of 1:30 to start period 2 with Harley in the box, having cleanly wrestled man to the ice. 1-0 Edmonton. Nugent Hopkins, power play goal, Bouchard and Draisaitl with the helpers. And the Oilers, who led after 2 periods on Wednesday night, leads 1-0 after the first period here tonight. The final shots for now, 11 for Dallas, 10 for Edmonton. And again, the Oilers, the difference in the game, have converted their power play. Dallas did not. It was the difference in the game on Wednesday night as well when Dallas outscored Edmonton 3-1 on the power play and won the game 6-3 with an empty netter. Hard to quibble once again with the way the Oilers have come out here in game 2.
Just wish maybe you would have gotten a shot off the ozone face-off win on the power play. The end of the period, they unfortunately had a couple puck misplays, and then McDavid on the zone entry couldn't get anything going. But nonetheless, you're up, and you've got some time, 1.5 minutes to work with the extra man.
Troy Stetcher now joins us ringside from Dallas's American Airlines Center. And Troy, much like the other night, I would think the team leaves the ice feeling pretty good about the way the opening 20 minutes developed.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That was a good first 20. Like you said, though, last game we had a great first 20, a great first 40. We shut the bed in the third, so the focus is having a good, strong second here.
All right, well, one of the things that you need to get going, and look, you're not on the power play. You have played at the power play at different levels. It tends to be a little bit cyclical, but you guys are now 2 for 4, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has those 2 goals. And part of it happens just because pucks get directed to the net, and you create some chaos. Your thoughts on the PP goal?
You're a smart man there, Bob. Pucks and bodies and net, good things are going to happen. So we obviously got the 2 best players in the world on our team, and they have a lot of creativity to make plays, but sometimes less is more, and when things aren't going right, you just get pucks and bodies in net, and you get rewarded. So that's a big goal at a crucial part of the game, and we've got to carry it forward.
Troy, that's a great interview, but please don't indulge my partner by saying how smart he is.
I fucking love Bob. Oh my God, I love Bob so much. Sorry, boys.
Hey, the Daily Double. Troy started it with some colorful analysis and finished it. That's why you tune in to 880 Chet. Hey, it's got to be after midnight somewhere, right? Look at Bob. He's giggling like a schoolboy. 1-0 Edmonton.
I think he said flip.
Yeah, something like that. Nugent Hopkins for Bouchard and Draisaitl. 5:51, time of the power play goal. We'll see whether they allow us back for the second period. But in the meantime, we'll have Rob Brown and Brendan Escott. They're next from the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. It's the Edmonton Oilers 1 and the Dallas Stars no score. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with a power play goal. And this is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network. When the Oilers are on the ice, the big hits are a part of the game. But they shouldn't be a part of your drive. If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown & Associates and their over 200 years of combined injury law experience help you. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown & Associates is ready to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
It's our YEG with 880 Chad.
Step into the mesmerizing world at the Royal Canadian International Circus, June 5th through the 15th at West Edmonton Mall. Plus, enter at 880chet.com for your chance to run away to the circus for a day with a show-stopping prize pack. Then take a stroll through Rundle Park on June 14th to support Walk Together for ALS. Donate and register today at alsab.ca/Walk Together for ALS.
For details on these and more events, visit 880ched.com. At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Draisaitl, deep right corner. Bouchard, one-timer, tipped home. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, power play goal. And it's 1-0 Edmonton.
That's the Highlight Zone, brought to you by Century Casinos. All in, all games, all season. Century Casinos with 3 great locations in Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the Winner's Zone. That was a pretty entertaining first period there. Not as entertaining as Troy Stetcher's walk-off interview, but that's about all I'm going to say about that, Rob Brown.
Well,
good start.
The first period, Brendan. the first period, Brennan, was just as eventful as Troy Stetcher's interview was colorful. So it's funny. You wonder how both teams respond. The Oilers, so much good went into game one, yet they lost. The Dallas Stars were asleep through 40 minutes and they won. Both teams knew they had to improve things coming into game two. So what kind of first period do you have? And both teams have their best success when they limit the opposition chances. But I thought in that first period, the shots weren't silly crazy, but I think the scoring chances were. Both teams had a lot of good looks. The Edmonton Oilers only have the one goal on the power play, but they had the stick on their best players number of times in that period. Leon, he gets a tip real close on a parry pass. Great save by Ottinger. McDavid goes in on a 2-on-1 while shorthanded, which I think that's the third shorthanded 2-on-1 that the Oilers have had in 4 periods against Dallas's power play. He goes off the post. Podkolzin fans on a shot, then pushes it towards the net, goes through the goalie's legs. It's on the goal line. Podkolzin again shoots the puck, wide open net for Kapanen. He can't find it. There were a lot of grade A looks for the Oilers to extend the lead. And I also thought that was Dallas's best period 5-on-5 offensively, because they had a number of good looks and they just couldn't find the back of the net. And give credit to Stuart Skinner, who needed to and wanted to be better than he was in game one. In that first period, he was very good.
Talk about special teams being certainly a point of emphasis coming into this game, Rob. And you've got the Oilers through 20 minutes winning that special teams battle. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, maybe quietly with his 5th goal of the postseason, 12 points in his last 11 games. He's really helping this team out.
He has. It seems like in big moments, RNH comes up with something important, whether it's a good face-off win in a shorthanded situation or a 5-on-5 play, or obviously when he's on the power play. And it's the thing that the Oilers power play is that makes it so dangerous is it's not static. The players move all over the place. And Ryan Nugent-Hopkins isn't normally standing down below the goaltender's feet. That's usually Hyman's spot or Perry's spot. But they move it around. They have set up plays off face-offs. And he just found the right area. And for the second game in a row, a puck deflected off a Dallas Star stick while they were shorthanded, and it just went to the right spot. And both times it was to Nugent-Hopkins. So Bouchard puts it on net. It hits Rantanen's stick and deflects to the left. And all of a sudden, Ottinger was playing it to come at him. It's not there. And give RNH credit for staying in the right spot and getting his stick down. An important goal for the Edmonton Oilers in a period where Ottinger was very good.
And an opportunity coming into this second period, Rob, with 90 seconds of power play time. So have you ever bought into having a fresh sheet of ice being all that big a difference maker?
I hated a power play that was 1 minute, 1 minute. So you get a minute before the end of the period, a minute to start. Because I always found that most of power plays, now the Oilers are a little bit different because it's so good, but most power plays take advantage of a penalty killing unit that tires. So if you get a full 2 minutes, a minute 10, minute 20, minute 30, if you can get the team hemmed in, you have them tired. When it's split 1 minute, 1 minute, all of a sudden the fresh ice doesn't work out as an advantage because the penalty killers aren't tired. They've just rested for 15 minutes between periods, and now they come out rested as well. But the Oilers still have a minute 30. That is enough time to catch the Dallas defenders tired. And the fact that it's fresh ice, the Oilers team, which likes to move the puck, which isn't a pass and shot. They like pass, find the best play shot. It's much smoother ice for the Oilers power play. So this would be an advantage for them.
Wondering what kind of adaptations we might see from either side at this point. It's so much about punch, counter punch. I guess it's on Dallas at this point to make a couple of adjustments coming out of this break.
Well, I think that there's a lot of Dallas's game that Pete DeBoer will like. I think they were much more aggressive in the offensive zone. I think they created more chances. They threw the pucks on net. But where Dallas struggled in that period, they probably turned the puck over 4 or 5 times where they literally passed it to an Edmonton Oiler. And a couple times it was on their power play, and they gave the Oilers odd man breaks going the other way. So I think the Dallas Stars, they're going to be talking about turning the puck over. They did it way too much. I think the Oilers, they'll talk about protect the front of the net because the Stars have been throwing pucks towards the net, trying to get tips, trying to get rebounds, and trying to find a way to capitalize. I think the Oilers had probably 4 really good looks that if they get one more of those and you can extend that 1-0 lead, it's huge. Ottinger's not going to give up an easy one. They're going to have to work for it. But I think right now the big focus for the Oilers, extend the lead on this power play. The one thing you want to do is put disbelief or a seed of doubt into the minds of the opposition's penalty killers. The Oilers scored a power play goal last game. They're 1-for-1 already tonight. Score again on this power play. You extend the lead, and now you've got the Dallas Stars having to change the way they play as they have to open up a little bit.
That's our Inside the Game analyst, Rob Brown. We are at the intermission, brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring. This is your Ford Dealers NHL hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Score big with the unmatched purity of Clearwater Vodka, the perfect companion for Oilers fans. Crafted with the pristine waters of Alberta, it's a sip of local excellence. Clearwater Vodka, where the spirit of the game meets true Alberta quality. Must be 18 plus. Please drink responsibly.
Did you know the RCMP polices over 99% of Alberta's landscape? From the oil sands to the Rockies to the prairies, the RCMP has a province covered. Providing policing services to more than 1,700 communities and with over 150 career specializations, the Alberta RCMP has something to fit everyone's goals and lifestyles. Visit rcmpcareers.ca and take the next step towards your career with the Alberta RCMP. A message from the Government of Canada.
Hey, Edmonton. Ever think about who gets your hard-earned money when you buy groceries or gas? For all you know, it could be buying a second yacht or private jet. But at Co-op, they put it right back into the community. That's because they're owned by 120,000 everyday Edmontonians, not a corporation. Feel good about where your money goes when you shop Co-op. Visit in-store for details.
Score big with the unmatched purity of Clearwater Vodka, the perfect companion for Oilers fans. Crafted with the pristine waters of Alberta, it's a sip of local excellence. Clearwater Vodka, where the spirit of the game meets true Alberta quality. Must be 18 plus. Please drink responsibly.
With Global News, I'm Thomas Dias. The measles outbreak in the province's South Health Zone is now severe enough there that residents and all communities in the region are considered to be at risk. Global's Brenda Neufeld reports.
Alberta Health Services has issued a standing measles exposure advisory for the South Zone, which includes the communities of Brooks, Lethbridge, Medicine Hat, Pincher Creek, and Crow's Nest Pass. AHS says it is finding people with no known exposure source. That means not all cases of measles are being reported to health officials, and there is a widespread potential exposure risk in the region. Of the 560 measles cases reported in the province since March, over 400 have been in the South Zone, including 19 new cases confirmed on Friday. Brenda Neufeld, Global News.
And on that note, AHS says a person with confirmed measles in the North Zone was at the Real Canadian Superstore in Grand Prairie on May 14th, 15th, and 17th. News on demand at 880ched.com.
Real Canadian Superstore has more ways to save than any other major grocer. Check out their weekly flyer for PC Optimum offers, deals on club size, no name, and always low-priced everyday items. Visit in-store to find everything from fashion and home decor to toys and electronics. And don't forget their new Fresh Promise on produce. If your produce isn't fresh, they'll replace it and refund it. There are so many ways to save at Real Canadian Superstore. See their flyer for details.
The Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation 50-50, presented by Rogers, is back and bigger than ever. The largest 50-50 in sports offers early bird draws, bonus raffles, and a main jackpot, which is growing by the second. With over $100 million invested across OilCountry, your support directly helps kids, families, and communities in need. Maybe you'll be our next winner. Get your tickets right now at EdmontonOilers.com and help make OilCountry a better place.
AGLC license number 696879.
Over the last decade, the world of work has changed dramatically. It's a change that can cause a disconnect between a company and its employees. But a partnership with Aon can help by making decisions that create a more flexible, engaged, and resilient workforce. Aon's experience and expertise, global understanding, and advanced analytics ensure that every client is better informed and better advised so that they can make better decisions. Whatever the next decade brings, Aon is in the business of better decisions.
At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Time now for the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. This is the only NHL game tonight. Of course, the Florida Panthers up 2-0 in the Eastern Conference Final, and the next couple games there are in Sunrise. So there's a good chance that Carolina's in a whole heck of a lot of trouble right now out east. But of course, this is the only game in town tonight. As far as NHL goes, the Memorial Cup is underway, and through the first 40 minutes of action, the Rimouski Oceanic leading the Medicine Hat Tigers 3-2. So we'll keep you updated on that as that one goes along. Rimouski, the host of this year's tournament, and the Toronto Blue Jays in action in Tampa, taking on the Rays. They are down 3-1 there. We have more hockey action coming up, second period style. The Oilers holding a 1-goal lead over the Dallas Stars, and they're headed back to the power play. 90 seconds of power play time they have to work with when they emerge from the first intermission for the second period. Looking very much forward to that. A reminder, you can get your thoughts in over the course of the game. 780-451-8800. We'll weave those in to Oilers overtime and get your thoughts then. In the meantime, we are at the intermission. This is End of the Roll, or brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring. This is your Ford Dealers NHL hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Today you can score at A&W. Enjoy a juicy grass-fed beef mama burger and fries for only $5. Available in-store or on the A&W mobile app at participating locations in OilCountry. This fantastic deal is available all day today at A&W.
Businesses deserve the best protection against cyber threats. Alltech offers state-of-the-art IT and cybersecurity solutions to safeguard digital assets. The team of experts at Alltech are dedicated to providing the highest level of security, ensuring that data remains safe and operations are seamless. With Alltech, businesses can focus on growth while the rest is handled. From advanced threat detection to comprehensive data security, Alltech has it covered. Choose Alltech for reliable and effective cybersecurity. Visit alt-tech.ca now to learn more.
Experience the exciting casino action at 3 Century Casino locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile. Dine at one of their amazing restaurants featuring daily specials. Take in the ultimate game day experience at the all-new Selly Sports Bar and Lounge. Check out the best in live entertainment at any amazing location. Plus, enjoy a great selection of casino gaming options and off-track betting. Feel the thrill of live horse racing at Century Mile Racetrack. Don't miss a second of the action at Century Casino.
Today you can score at A&W. Enjoy a juicy grass-fed beef mama burger and fries for only $5. Available in-store or on the A&W mobile app at participating locations in OilCountry. This fantastic deal is available all day today at A&W.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
1-0 hockey game for the Edmonton Oilers through the opening 20 minutes. Now, remember, the Oilers will be on the power play for the first 90 seconds of this second period, already having converted a power play in the first period. Nugent Hopkins from Bouchard and Draisaitl, the time 5:51. Nugent Hopkins out there with Draisaitl again, McDavid, Bouchard, and rounding out the power play quintet will be Zach Hyman. It's brought to you by Atco Energy, your trusted Alberta retailer. And we're underway here in the second period with Dallas having won that faceoff. Sam still getting the job done, and Essa Lindell dumps it in. Now Steele giving Nugent Hopkins fits, trying to keep it alive for Colin Blackwell, inserted into the lineup. Beautiful drag move around Bouchard, who got just enough of the puck to knock it off Blackwell's stick and allow Zach Hyman to bring it back the other way. Oilers right to left in the white uniforms, and another steal by Blackwell, who fires it down the ice. Skinner will knock it down for Bouchard, and here come the Oilers, leading 1-0. The back pass is to Connor McDavid. Still 45 seconds left in the man advantage. Nugent-Hopkins across the line, left point for Bouchard. Nugent-Hopkins on the half wall. McDavid from the corner. Hyman in the slot. Beautiful feed. Hyman tried to tuck it, but that pass was behind Nugent-Hopkins, handled on the left half boards. Bouchard gives it back to Nugent-Hopkins. Downloaded. Draisaitl, what a save. Ottinger, his best of the series as Draisaitl tried to flip it over the blocker. Draisaitl given another opportunity by Bouchard. Just didn't have enough snap on that shot. He'll give it for McDavid. Pressure from Lindell. Spin move to the net. Ottinger, one save, and then reaches out and pulls it into his chest as the power play dwindles down to 8 seconds. Minute 22 gone by, second period. 1-0 for Edmonton, and Ottinger, I thought that was his best save of the series on Draisaitl.
No question. Leon came in, tried to elevate the puck over him. Oilers a little bit late, and they created a different look there, and just a little bit of a mistime as they went, instead of going from flank to flank, they cut back up the middle, back behind the goal. They rarely do that, and then it was a pass off, and unfortunately Bouchard couldn't pick the puck up cleanly, or he had a chance to rifle one.
Adam Henrique on the ice. Connor Brown, John Klingberg, Jake Wallman, and Evander Kane. Face-off won by Dallas. Ceci ducks behind his own net and rifles it down the middle. Skinner to settle it, but the penalty to Harley is over, and Dallas has killed it off. Oilers maintain a 1-0 lead. Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer with you from high atop our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth, perched in a mountainous American Airlines arena. A little dump in by Wallman is gloved by Ottinger, and a face-off coming in the Dallas defensive zone.
To me, it looks like Kane's got an issue with his skate. Had a pivot challenge on the ice, but he stayed out here.
Henrique, the ozone draw against Rope Hintz for Dallas. Stars dispatched Colorado at 7, Winnipeg in 6. Edmonton rallied from 2-0 down to beat LA in 6, and then knocked out Vegas in 5. Both teams had finished ahead of Edmonton during the regular season. If the Oilers are able to advance in the Western Conference Final, they'll play host to either Florida or Carolina in the Stanley Cup Final. Winner of this series has home ice, is another way of saying it, because the East combatants finish behind both Dallas and Edmonton. Florida will have an opportunity to gain a stranglehold in this series. Brown thought he was high-sticked. Is there a late call coming? No, it's ruled that he got hit with the heel of someone's skate.
Yeah, they're just
came up on Connor Brown, and it's a safety issue.
Great pickup by you right away. They were concerned.
He basically got kicked in the jaw, and I think he's okay. Granlund went flying into him, and yeah, his boot caught him right underneath the chin, and that could have been a lot worse. He just toe-picked, did Mikhail Granlund, and the left leg kind of went recklessly up in the air.
You always worry about that.
Absolutely. Bob and I were witness to a horrifying incident in Columbus about 13 years ago when Corey Potter, with a fallen Taylor Hall in front of him, tried to jump over his teammate and caught him with a skate, cut him for a number of zippers, and somehow the guy on site in Columbus did an amazing job with that cut, and today it's a relatively minuscule scar. Here's Nurse up the middle, easy for me to say. Draisaitl ahead for Matthias Janmark, well defended by Haskin. An open man is Stetcher, and he wires it just over the net off the plexi. If he had scored there, Bob, that interview would instantly have grown into legendary status.
I think it already,
if he followed it up with a goal.
I think it already is in legendary status.
Well, you were walking around like you were 10 feet tall during the intermission after he told you how smart you were. Here's Darnell Nurse, although I don't think anyone's going to remember that part of the interview.
No, I don't think so.
Stetcher Giving it back to Nurse with 2.5 gone by in the second period. It's Draisaitl gaining the line, but Harley stands him up and then gave it right back to Janmark. Sloppy turnover by Harley. He'll make amends by getting the puck back onto Haskinen's stick. And it's punched forward by Matt Duchesne. 1-0 Edmonton. Skinner plays the puck through Tyler Seguin and Duchesne. Nugent-Hopkins won a puck battle. Here's McDavid over the line. It's Bouchard, and his shot was tipped off the plexi and out of play with 3 minutes gone by in this second period. And the Oilers haven't come out in the second and once again gotten to Dallas a little bit. Still a 1-0 game. Nugent-Hopkins' first period power play goal. The only difference, Stetcher, that shot went off Robertson and over the net. Didn't miss Bud much.
Jack, the Oilers are getting some opportunities off the rush here. They're able to quickly train. This is the advantage of you go out, you bring in Klingberg, and you add Wallman. Guys that can move the puck up the ice. And the Oilers can transition it. And they're creating some odd mans.
McDavid against Jamie Benn in the face-off circle. Benn won it. Hoisted up ice by Lindell, but knocked down by Bouchard and shoveled right back into the Dallas zone. Lindell to Cody Ceci. Hard up the boards. Knocked down by McDavid. Crowding Ceci, who did well to battle back and force a rolling puck into the Edmonton zone. Bouchard didn't want any part of the forechecking Jamie Benn, but was able to duck out of that potential altercation and eventually backhanded up to Hyman. Engaged in a fierce battle with Lindell in center ice that Lindell wins. Now you've got Dodonov heading for the net, spinning and centering wildly onto the stick of Granlund. A shot hits Skinner in the back. An awkward-looking save, but an effective one nonetheless. Lindell, soft chip down low. Dodonov tied up with Kulak. Stepping up as Ceci to keep it alive for Granlund. Thought about dishing out to the high slot. Elects to keep it on his stick, and that shot is swallowed up by Stuart Skinner, who's been perfect thus far on 13 Dallas Stars shots on goal. 1-0 Edmonton.
Well, there's the RVH there from Stuart Skinner. And Jack, there's a situation where 30 years ago you would never play that as a netminder. You'd just be square to a shot, and instead, with how guys play technically in goals, sometimes you can bank one in off his ear, and that's what we've seen Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl do that. And the Dallas Stars tried to rip one home there, and Skinner fought it off.
Face off to Skinner's left. You've got Rope Hintz against Leon Draisaitl. Game 2 of this best-of-7 Western Conference Final. Bob and I will have Game 3 for you. Remember, it's a Sunday matinee. 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Oilers Stars Game 3 from Rogers Place. Lead pass on the wing is Leon Draisaitl. He'll spin and protect on the backhand. Off to Wallman. A shot just wide. And the rebound, a live hop off the Dashers. Wow. Taken by Mikko Rantanen. Boy, that jumped off the Dashers. Here's Rantanen. Hard to the net. Wrist shot. And he pushed it wide. Draisaitl might have gotten a piece of that shot at the very last instant. And it was dug out by Kapanen back towards center. But Colson across to Klingberg and then back behind the net for Jake Wallman. Then on Tuesday night, Game 4 will be a 7 o'clock start at Rogers Place. Just to set the table for you for the 2 games at Edmonton at the beginning of the week. Oilers get it in deep. Sam Steele leaves it for Harley. Under duress, gets it in for Blackwell. On the move is Steele. Robertson juggles, mishandles. He's clearly fighting the puck and wires it in deep. Stetcher reverses to Nurse. Back to Stetcher. 14:45 to go in the second period. Ahead to Connor Brown. Now Nurse jumps up, activates, and tried to dish to Evander Kane. Broken up. Petrovic in close quarters. Up the boards, but not out. Stetcher barrels his way down the right-hand side. He's historically had very good numbers in the postseason. Nurse, kind of a half shot, half pass that ends up wide. Stetcher, he was stuffed as he tried to release from the right half boards, and that caromed all the way out to center. Nurse up to Evander Kane at the red line. Hard hit from Matt Duchesne. Kane got it back and behind Liam Bichel. The towering Dallas defenseman tried to reverse it up the wall. Stolen by Janmark. Wide open. Shot off of Otcher. Rebound back into the blue paint. And the Stars come away with it. What a good look. And yet, Trent Frederick denied by Jake Ottinger. Frederick's had a couple of good looks in this series. Whiffed on a loose puck in game one.
Well, that was the killer because it was 4-3 when that happened.
That time, a good save from Jake Ottinger prevented Frederick from getting his second goal of the Stanley Cup playoffs. CC, in the meantime, to Harley. Off an Edmonton dump in, D-to-D, and now Jamie Benn. Through the middle of the ice, gives way. Shot Johnston, glove save made by an off-balance Stuart Skinner, who nevertheless lays the puck to rest. With 6.5 minutes gone by in this second period, the score remains Edmonton 1, Dallas 0. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, the game's only goal about 6 minutes in. We're live from Dallas, Texas, and the sold-out American Airlines.
Look, you're not on the power play. You have played at the power play at different levels. It tends to be a little bit cyclical, but you guys are now 2 for 4, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has those 2 goals. And part of it happens just because pucks get directed to the net, and you create some chaos. Your thoughts on the PP goal?
You're a smart man there, Bob. Pucks and bodies and net, good things are going to happen. So we obviously got the 2 best players in the world on our team, and they have a lot of creativity to make plays, but sometimes less is more, and when things aren't going right, just get pucks and bodies in net, and you get rewarded. So that's a big goal at a crucial part of the game, and we've got to carry it forward.
Troy, that's a great interview, but please don't indulge my partner by saying how smart he is.
I fucking love Bob. Oh my God, I love Bob so much. Sorry, boys.
Hey, the Daily Double. Troy started it with some color, full analysis, and finished it. That's why you tune in to 880 Chet. Hey, it's got to be after midnight somewhere, right? Look at Bob. He's giggling like a schoolboy. 1-0 Edmonton.
I think he said flip.
Yeah, something like that. Nugent-Hopkins for Bouchard and Draisaitl. 5:51. Time of the power play goal. We'll see whether Airline Center and Troy, much like the other night, I would think the team leaves the ice feeling pretty good about the way the opening 20 minutes developed.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That was a good first 20. Like you said, though, last game we had a great first 20, a great first 40. Now we shut the bed in the third, so the focus is having a good, strong second here.
All right, well, one of the things that you need to get going, and look, you're not on the power play. You have played at the power play at different levels. It tends to be a little bit cyclical, but you guys are now 2 for 4, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has those 2 goals. And part of it happens just because pucks get directed to the net, and you create some chaos. Your thoughts on the PP goal?
You're a smart man there, Bob. Pucks and bodies and net, good things are going to happen. So we obviously got the 2 best players in the world on our team, and they have a lot of creativity to make plays, but sometimes less is more, and when things aren't going right, just get pucks and bodies in net, and you get rewarded. So that's a big goal at a crucial part of the game, and we've got to carry it forward.
Troy, that's a great interview, but please don't indulge my partner by saying how smart he is.
I fucking love Bob. Oh my God, I love Bob so much. Sorry, boys.
Hey, the Daily Double. Troy started it with some color, full analysis, and finished it. That's why you tune in to 880 Chet. Hey, it's got to be after midnight somewhere, right? Look at Bob. He's giggling like a schoolboy. 1-0 Edmonton.
I think he said flip.
Yeah, something like that. Nugent-Hopkins for Bouchard and Draisaitl. 5:51. Time of the power play goal. We'll see whether they...
But the Stars are now up to 57%, so they won most of the draws here in the second, and now Leon gets waved out.
Sagan will take it against the silly but Colson to Stuart Skinner's left-hand side. But Colson won the draw. Wallman behind the net had his pocket picked by Mason Marchment, who absorbs a check, circles the net, centers. Duchesne's shot was blocked. Rebound out to Harley. From the left point, he'll feed Sagan, who lost the handle.
Great play by Colson to help create the turnover.
Sagan missed 5 months this season undergoing hip surgery. He's had both hips done, and he looked great in game 1 of this series, scoring twice and adding an assist. Here's Sagan off a dump in from Edmonton. He'll carry it to center. Left to right, puts the brakes on as he hit the line, and then Kapanen booted it back to center. Harley guides one over to Petrovic, who ambles his way to center and dumps it in. Petrovic, not only 6 games to oh, here's a backhander off a turnover and a save made by Stuart Skinner. Wow. A tough save point blank on Mikko Rantanen after a dreadful turnover, then nudged in front. Rantanen misses with Nurse having potentially gotten his stick on that shot. Rantanen's had 2 point blank looks, can't come up with a third as Connor Brown clears up the left-hand side, spilled in by Podkolzin and retrieved by Bishop.
Not sure why Janmark was out on the ice there with Podkolzin and Captain Leon went for a quick shift. And,
a mishandle by Skinner. Robertson off a turnover, can't find it, and by the time he does, he turns it over. Skinner has had a few miscues in terms of handling the puck. Brown has shot off the pads of Jake Ottinger. Juicy rebound. Kulak. And his shot misses wide. But Robertson right now, Bob, is fighting the puck. He just doesn't have any kind of feel. Here's Corey Perry backhanding it down low. Jason Robertson led Dallas with 35 goals during the regular season, second on the team in scoring behind only Matt Duchene. Got injured in game 82 and hasn't been himself. That looked like offside as Rope Hintz carried it in. Henry collided with a member of the Stars and he's shaken up. As he groggily gets up, the Stars still have puck possession down low. To Donoff, to Robertson, to the point and held in by Esa Lindell, who marks his 31st birthday today with the 100th playoff game of his Stanley Cup career.
Oilers need a change here. This line's in a little bit of duress.
They clear it back to the Dallas line. Edmonton unable to complete it. Jamie Benn had it poke checked away. Following up is Wyatt Johnston. Hard pressure on Henrique. Puck came through to Evan Bouchard. Did not get it out. Henrique trying to burrow his way inside on Johnston. Flicked out in front. Kulak won a battle against Dodonov. And the puck is reversed by Perry to Bouchard, who looks for a clear up the right-hand side. And again, the Stars able to hem the Oilers in. Kulak given another opportunity. That time, he finds Corey Perry, and it's brushed down deep into the Dallas zone, and Edmonton will get a long-awaited change. Halfway through the hockey game, 1-0 Edmonton in Game 2 of the Western Conference Final. Here's Marchment under duress. Wallman blasted him into the corner and now has control of the puck. McDavid wants an outlet. Wallman can't get it to him, but eludes not one but two Stars and shovels it down the middle. Dallas fans wanted a holding call away from the play. In the meantime, Sagan through the neutral zone. Drop pass, loading up, shooting is Duchene. And Klingberg was in the shot lane and blocked it. Rebound Duchene. Now Tyler Sagan out to the point. Harley off balance. A shot deflected up over top off the glass. And now we've got a call. Was it play with a high stick by a Dallas player? Off the glass and then to Marchment. Was that the call?
You're right. Yep, you got her.
So a neutral zone face-off when we return. Marchment pleading his case. 9:23 left in the second period. Stuart Skinner a misplay, but Corey Perry able to bail him out with a steal. And Edmonton's 1-0 lead remains intact as we send you to break from Dallas, Texas, and the American Airlines Center. It's Game 2 of the Western Conference Final. The Oilers Radio Network.
Bloom Benefits offers amazing coverage that even the toughest hockey players can get behind. With excellent coverage, they offer things like massage. You want to go? Counseling services. Let's go. Dental coverage. That was not offside. And eye exams. With custom health coverage for any group of any size, Bloom Benefits make every team better, stronger, and healthier. Plans start from just $54 a month. Rethink your benefits today at bloombenefits.ca.
Do your tires feel like hockey pucks on the road? Perhaps it's time for a new set of Atturo tires. No matter what you drive, Atturo has the right fit for you, including the all-new Trailblade HT and AZ810, premium all-weather tires for your pickup, car, SUV, or crossover. You can rest assured that Atturo tires will get you through all four seasons. Available at Action Car and Truck, Point S, and tire shops everywhere. Find a dealer near you at atturo.com.
Play Alberta has hundreds of casino games right at your fingertips. Join thousands discovering why Fortune Coin is one of Alberta's most popular games. Fill your reels with golden coins. Multiply your prizes up to 6 times and turn good spins into legendary ones. Land the Fortune Coin symbol to win cash. Trigger the jackpot. Launch the free spins bonus and watch as the dragon takes over your screen. New players get 100 free spins only on playalberta.ca. Claim your offer today. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Welcome back inside our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth alongside Bob Stauffer. I'm Jack Michaels. We're live in Dallas, Texas. Rob Brown and Brendan Escott back in our 880 Ched Studios, flagship home of the Oilers Radio Network. Game 2 of this Western Conference Final. Nugent Hopkins, a power play goal in the first. It's 1-0 for Edmonton. Adam Henrique, we told you, was stunned on a collision in his last shift. He finished the shift, and now he has been led underneath by head athletic trainer TD Force. So for right now, 11 forwards available for Chris Knobloch as we resume play with a neutral zone face-off that's flipped in by Nugent Hopkins toward Ottinger. He'll set it level for Esa Lindell. Up the glass and out. Rantanen bumped it free for Hintz, then got it back, tried to throw it across for an activating Heiskanen, and that was picked off and cleared back the other way by Nugent Hopkins. Lindell swept it out of the corner to Heiskanen. He'll ram it off the boards to the Edmonton blue line, out of the reach of Mikael Granlund, and now a turnover by Heiskanen. Hyman, a drop pass, and Nugent Hopkins, a wrist shot that does not make its way through. The rebound momentarily sitting in the high slot, grabbed by Dallas. And Wyatt Johnston and Mikko Rantanen swoop into the offensive zone. Bouchard, a good play on Rantanen. Played down low by Jamie Benn, the Stars captain. Johnston thrust off the puck by Nugent Hopkins, and Bouchard has ample room to clear, which he does up the right-hand side to Hyman, and it's dropped in by McDavid as Dallas retrieves.
Dallas is starting to get a little bit more physical here, Jack.
Cody Ceci. Up to Dodonov. He fanned on a dump-in attempt, and it's Draisaitl to Kapanen. A quick counter here. Kapanen pulls up top of the right circle, rolls it around for Podkolzin. Shot Wallman, stick save made by Ottinger. Rebound Ceci for the Dallas Stars. Loose in the corner, four-player scrum. Flipped out Wallman. Across, juggled by Bouchard momentarily, and then thrust back down low. Draisaitl hovering close by. Peeled out of there by Dodonov and swung back to center, where Bouchard will knock it down for Wallman. 7.5 to go, second period. Still a 1-0 game here in Game 2 of the West Final. Kapanen, Kane, centering pass, and Draisaitl did not handle it on his backhand. Won't see that too often. Stetcher will wind it around for Evander Kane. That was a good look from Kane. Down low for Trent Frederick, who bobbled and then got it back to Janmark. Kulak is open, shot redirected by Kane and held by Ottinger. Evander Kane a factor on that shift, and Frederick rode out of there by a pair of Stars with 7:10 to go in the second period, and the Oilers holding a 1-0 lead.
That's Evander Kane's best shift of the series, Jack. I mean, he made a tremendous pass. Leon Draisaitl was towards the end of his shift, just couldn't pick it up, and then created another look with a flyby and a net drive and hacked the puck out of the goal. Well, thank you. I'll have one of those later.
Face off, right side of goaltender Jake Ottinger. 7:10 to play. A steamy afternoon in Dallas, Texas, with temperatures well into the mid-30s and a high rate of humidity. Digging in for the face-off, Connor McDavid. Now playing with Kane. Kept it alive for Kane in the high slot. Corey Perry's the third member of this line as Chris Knobloch continues to tinker. Now remember, Adam Henrique is unavailable for now. Kulak, left point. But that hasn't really slowed Chris Knobloch. We've seen several different combinations 5-on-5 tonight. Flipped in by Rantanen. Evan Bouchard looking to escape. Up the left-hand side, Evander Kane with control of the puck ahead for Connor McDavid. Breaks in with Corey Perry. Put it behind the net, Ottinger. Fairly good puck handler, but put it in a tough spot for Heiskanen. Did well to get it through McDavid, but Kane and Perry roll over to choke any sort of offensive thrust up ice off. Lindell, lead pass. Finally, Rantanen able to get it in deep, but he's at the end of his shift. Oilers with possession. Darnell Nurse is going to back off with Duchesne tracking him. Over to Troy Stetcher. Now Nurse on the left-hand side. Took his eye off the puck, regained, and saw it slashed in deep by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Connor Brown in on the forecheck. Look at this line with Nugent-Hopkins, Brown, and Hyman paired together. Oilers shovel it down low. Stetcher looking for Brown in close quarters against Bishop. Puck well protected by Dallas and cleared by Sagan. Marchment hits the line with Matt Duchene. Matt Duchene's shot held by Skinner from a tough angle. That's a routine save, and Skinner's been perfect on 15 shots thus far. 5:39 to go in the second period. Nugent Hopkins, power play goal in the first. Still the difference right now. It's 1-0 Edmonton in Game 2 of the West Final with 4 dealers NHL hockey. The Oilers Radio Network.
The same AI-powered technology that helps Oilers fans move through security efficiently at Rogers Place is also available for Edmonton area schools, hospitals, and workplaces. Evolve Technology, proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers and official security screening partner of Rogers Place, helps identify potential threats and create safe experiences at hockey games and wherever people gather. Visit Rogers Place to experience Evolve live or check out evolve.com for more information. That's EVOLV.com.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions take one for Ryan Nugent Hopkins and Zach Hyman. Are you ready, guys?
We were born ready. Heck yes, Nuge. Drop the beat. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. We freaking killed it, Nuge. That's what I'm talking about, Zachary Martin Hyman.
Nice guys. We're going to sell a lot of air conditioners.
Hey, doesn't Legacy offer no payments and no interest for a year on those?
Yeah, well, thanks for the assist on the copy points there, Nuge.
It's just what I do.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Pizza 73, the official pizza of your Edmonton Oilers. Loyal to the oil, in Edmonton we trust. Rising to the top like a pizza crust. Got the flavors to play, yeah. Cooking on ice. Hunger happens, gotta score a slice. Let's go Oilers, E-Town unite. Ice District to Jasper, downtown to White. Wearing orange and blue, game on the street. Make the right call, Pizza 73. Let's go Oilers. 737373. Pizza 73. All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Edmonton had a streak of 13 consecutive victories in the playoffs when leading after 2 periods snapped on Wednesday night. They'd love to start a new streak along those lines, and they're 5.5 minutes away from doing exactly that. A 1-0 lead, late second period, a face-off coming to Stuart Skinner's right-hand side. Draisaitl will take it and lose it against Rope Hintz. Wrist shot, glove save made by Skinner up top, and I thought Hintz was taken down there. That was close.
Well, there was one each way because Kapanen went to jump out. He got tripped, sneaky little interior trip.
So a face-off to Skinner's right-hand side. He just stopped Harley from distance, and it's Hintz against Draisaitl as well. And Hintz won the draw. Bad pass from Heiskanen to Harley. 3-on-2 Edmonton all of a sudden. Little give and go, and Kapanen's return pass went off a skate. And Dallas on the counter. Mikhail Granlund waits. Forced out wide by Klingberg, and will drop it off for Rantanen. Takes it behind the net. Rantanen dishes. One-timer, and that was a block shot. Rebound, and Skinner scrambling. Stop on Hintz. Rebound shoveled back. Kapanen read it. Tried to drop it off to Draisaitl, and eventually got it to him. Draisaitl will challenge Rantanen to the net and forced off his stick by Heiskanen at the last moment. Good play by Miro Heiskanen, who started that with a turnover. Zach Hyman will wind it along. The great ones, well, they usually redeem themselves. Rantanen, a good play off the wall. They get it up to Granlund. He'll nudge a skittering puck inside the Edmonton blue line. Bouchard, long stretch for McDavid. Off the boards, he'll dish it off. Kulak, a shot. Rebound, score! Brett Kulak following his own shot. Makes it 2-0 Edmonton with 4:37 to play in the second period.
Well, a fortuitous ricochet for the Edmonton Oilers, but it starts with an Evan Bouchard 90-foot stretch pass to Connor McDavid. McDavid gains zone entry, drops it to Kulak. His first shot is blocked. He picks up his rebound and rips it home for his third career playoff goal.
In 89 games, first of this postseason, McDavid will draw the primary assist. And Edmonton has a 2-0 lead in Game 2. Corey Perry said after Game 1, hey, we came down here for a split. Doesn't matter whether we get it in the opener or Game 2.
And now discipline becomes the key for the Oilers, Jack.
A 2-goal lead, which is what they enjoyed late in the second period of Game 1. Couldn't hold it. Penalty trouble was the problem. Off the draw, flipped in by Trent Frederick. He'll thunder in on the forecheck against Alex Petrovic. Off to Bischel. Stars chip it up the left-hand side. Off balance Marchment. Too far. Getting in there. Oh, and a big hit on Duchesne by Nurse at the last instant. Came free. Duchesne waits. Dishes. Open man. Shot Marchment. Rebound wide. Hopped out to Duchesne. And Dallas ends up getting nothing. Oh, a big hit by Marchment on Evander Kane. Some hard hitting on this shift with 4 minutes to go in the second period. Bouchard will get the second assist, as Bob talked about. He's got 2 points tonight and 73 in his career. Here's Sagan. Bouchard, the biggest disparity between playoff points per game and regular season points per game in the history of the league. Shot from the high slot by Lindell, blocked. And Edmonton has numbers coming the other way. Nugent Hopkins to Kane. Wrist shot, save Ottinger. Rebound swatted back to the high slot. That was a 3-on-2 for Edmonton. Nugent Hopkins shot tipped home. What a tip by Connor Brown. 3-0 Edmonton.
You said it. It's been one of those playoff years for Connor Brown. That's his 5th goal of the playoffs, Jack. Deflection, redirection, and the Edmonton Oilers are up by 3. It's going to be Wallman and Nugent Hopkins on the assist. Simple play, just put it to the net.
And Nugent Hopkins did so with a floater from a sharp angle and a beautiful tip right underneath the glove of Jake Ottinger by Connor Brown. Time of the goal, 16:36. Nugent Hopkins for the second consecutive game as a goal and an assist.
Jack, got to carry the 3-goal lead into the third period.
3:24 to play in the second. Face-off win for Jamie Benn. And this crowd, which had been rowdy, has been settled significantly. Dallas has won 7 straight games at home since losing its first game of the playoffs to Colorado. Here's a dish and a backhander denied. Wow. Perry thought he was hacked.
He was.
Ottinger made the save, and that could have been 4-0 and game over. Corey Perry off a Dallas dump in. Angles one off the boards. McDavid wrist shot. Blocker save made by Jake Ottinger. Dallas perilously close to getting blown out of this game. Jamie Benn puts it in deep. Colin Blackwell hovering close by. Dallas looking to carve it out of the zone. Wyatt Johnston tripped up, and here comes Connor McDavid up ice for the Edmonton Oilers. He'll gain the line. Throw it across for Corey Perry. Shoveled in front. Taken away from Zach Hyman by Jamie Benn. He'll clear up the left-hand boards. This will be waved off in terms of icing, and with 2:15 remaining in the second period, tracked by Kulak, who scored the second goal, and that was followed a minute 13 later by Connor Brown's tip-in. That looked close to offside against Edmonton. Broken up, and now a chance Sam Steele. Faking the shot. Got a poke check from Stuart Skinner for his trouble, and now a 4-player pileup develops behind the Edmonton net. Kicked out, stepping up, shooting, and Harley had a shot block. A kick save made by Skinner on Cody Ceci, and the rebound swept through the middle and recovered by Harley with a minute 35 left in the second period of game 2. Steele fell down at center. Stars must regroup. Harley to Ceci. Right-hand side, Robertson turned it over. Draisaitl will flip it high just underneath the scoreboard. Not too far for any sort of icing, so Harley has to play it. Cody Ceci up to Jason Robertson. To center ice, and on the move is Mikko Rantanen. Around Stetcher. Forced out wide, circling the net, centering, and unable to come up with the puck cleanly was Alex Petrovic. Liam Bischel held the zone for Granlund. A second time, Bischel tried to get it to Granlund, but it went off his body and was wedged out safely by Brown for Frederick. Ottinger coming out to play it, and he threw it out of play. Delay of game against Dallas's goaltender. There was token pressure from Matthias Janmark, so Ottinger had to put it over his stick, and in doing so, sent one flying into the 6th row.
Well, that pressure from Janmark, because he can skate, he helped create it, and man, oh man, yeah, you know what? That's not a hook. they made the right call, not calling the hook. We thought it's closer maybe than it appeared to be with Corey Perry on the net drive.
But Ottinger, forced error, and this is a chance for Edmonton to put this game on ice right here, right now. Power play already up 3-0. Magnificent opportunity for the Oilers, who are 1 for 2 tonight, to send Dallas reeling into the dressing room. Nugent Hopkins, Kulak, and Brown with the goals. Draisaitl and McDavid, single assist. Bouchard has a pair. Nugent Hopkins for the second straight game, a multi-point outing. Off the draw, won by Blackwell. Lindell up the left-hand side and out. 40 seconds to go in the second period. Jake Ottinger, 2 minutes for delay of game. He's known as a pretty good puck handler, but that one got away from him. Sent in by Bouchard, chipped in by Nugent Hopkins, recovered with ease by Lindell, and he'll fire it down the ice. That was on net, no surprise. We saw Lindell score from 165 feet in game 1. Peter DeBoer says he's more accurate from that distance than he is from 10 feet. Steal by Rope Hintz, and another clear by the Dallas Stars. This Edmonton power play has not gotten going here. And the time is going to run off. Johnston, a centering pass shorthanded, intended for Hintz. McDavid has 2 seconds and leisurely floats one toward the net at the horn. But Edmonton, despite not doing much for that 51 seconds of power play time, will get a clean sheet to start the third. They'll be on a man advantage, and most importantly, they are in command of game 2 by a score of 3-0, having outshot the Dallas Stars by a count of 24-17, and in that period, taking total control of this game, outshooting the Stars 14-6, and tacking on 2 more to the 1-0 lead they enjoyed after 20. Again, Bob, we're very much back in the same spot, only this time it's Edmonton that's on a power play to start the third period, as opposed to having a shorthanded situation. And if they score on the power play, Bob, this game's over.
You would think. Yes. I mean, barring Darrell Evans and Jimmy Fox deciding to put some skates on for Dallas. But we know this. I mean,
we've seen 40 minutes of close-to-road perfection 2 nights in a row here in Dallas.
So tonight, it's the old saying, those of us that forget the past are forever condemned to repeat it. Don't repeat it. Deal with it. Get it done. Close it out here. And it starts, Jaka, we talked at the end of the second period, start of the second intermission last game, and said the Oilers needed a huge kill to start this period, or it was going to change the complexion of the game. I'm telling you right now, Edmonton has a chance to really change the complexion of this game if they get a power play goal here. If they close the deal.
What do you mean change? Just enhance?
Yes, they'll have a stranglehold on the game. But if Dallas can get a kill, maybe they can build some momentum. Anyhow, real good period, capitalized. The Oilers' big boys have come to play. They've got a little bit of, Bouchard's having a wonderful game. RNH with a goal and assist. He's been good. This is his building. I think at game 5 here last year, too. The last 3 games he's played here, he's got 4 goals and 6 points in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So some work to do nonetheless, but start with a good PK or a good power play to start the third.
Well, you mentioned that game 5, and that was perfection for Edmonton, and it's a game the Stars have come to really regret. And Matt Duchene has kept a puck from that game in his locker all season long. I'll tell you what, if Edmonton comes back to win this series, he might be keeping a puck from game 2 of this Western Conference final. It's been all Edmonton. The Oilers lead at 3-0, but as Bob indicated, you got to remember, Edmonton let a third period lead get away in Wednesday's game 1. Big difference, though, it's the Oilers that start the third period on a power play tonight and not the Stars. Nugent Hopkins with a goal and an assist, and Kulak and Brown scoring a minute 13 apart to transform a 1-0 lead into a 3-0 advantage heading to the final 20 minutes. And we're told that Adam Henrique will likely return for the third period. My guess is that spotter who saw him go down initially might have had something to say with respect to his absence. Stuart Skinner, by the way, thus far perfect on 16 shots. They've actually adjusted the Dallas shot total. That second period now 14-5 in shots and 2-0 in goals goals for the Edmonton Oilers, who have total control of Game 2. It's 3-0, heading to the final 20. It's the Western Conference Final from American Airlines Center in Dallas. The Oilers Radio Network.
Pizza 73, the official pizza of your Edmonton Oilers. Loyal to the oil, in Edmonton we trust. Rising to the top like a pizza crust. Got the flavors to play, yeah. Cooking on ice. Hunger happens, gotta score a slice. Let's go Oilers, E-Town unite. Ice District to Jasper, downtown to White. Wearing orange and blue, game on the street. Make the right call, Pizza 73. Let's go Oilers. 737373, Pizza 73. Stay connected with your community and enjoy the latest updates and exclusive access to concerts and events by becoming an 880 Ched Insider. Don't miss out on a single moment. Sign up now at 880ched.com and click on Ched Insider Newsletter to become a vital part of Edmonton's premier news and talk community. 880 Ched, Edmonton's news, today's talk, where Edmonton stays informed and entertained today and every day. At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Nugent Hopkins to Kane. Wrist shot, save Ottinger. Rebound swatted back to the high slot. That was a 3-on-2 for Edmonton. Nugent Hopkins shot tipped home. What a tip by Connor Brown. 3-0 Edmonton.
What a tip it was. That is our highlight zone, brought to you by Century Casinos. All in, all games, all season. Century Casinos. 3 great locations in Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the Winner's Zone. It is Brendan Escott here with Rob Brown. We are at the intermission, and wow, another quality period played by the Edmonton Oilers, who now lead 3-0, Rob. And I'm curious what you liked most about that middle frame.
There's a lot to like from the Oilers in that period. I think it starts first with Stuart Skinner. A couple big saves. I thought Dallas had some pushes when it was 1-0. They created some offensive zone time. Their best line, Hintz and Rantanen, that was probably their best opportunities they've had in the 5 periods thus far. And Skinner made big saves. He actually coughed one up trying to move the puck, but then made a nice save getting his stick on it, not allowing them to take it to the net. He stopped Rantanen from coming out from behind the net with a nice toe save. So Skinner started it, keeping the Oilers in the lead. And then you need some breaks. And the Oilers got a couple breaks. Kulak jumps up in the play, shoots. It's blocked by Rantanen, but on the shot, because it was blocked, Ottinger had moved. He was trying to play the first shot. It gets blocked. So now he's out of position. Puck goes right to Kulak. He didn't have to move his stick. He scores. And then a break on a bounce. You try as a player in front of the net to deflect the puck. 99% of the time, you have no idea where it's going. You just want it to go in a different direction. Connor Brown deflects it. The puck goes straight down, bounces, and beats Ottinger, who had been excellent in this hockey game. So you got to get breaks to win hockey games, and you got to take advantage of those bounces, and the Oilers certainly did in the middle 20 minutes.
And you generate those breaks by shooting the puck, which I thought they had a real mindset for, especially Connor McDavid, who looks like he is absolutely flying again tonight, him and Draisaitl both.
Well, it's funny. The narrative in the series against Vegas was depth players. The Oilers' best players, not quiet, but not as loud as we usually see with 97 and 29. Not so much in this series. 29 and 97 have been outstanding in the 5 periods of play thus far. McDavid, I think he's got a couple points already tonight. Could easily have 3 or 4 more. He's all over the ice right now. I think that Connor and Leon realize how close they are to getting back to where they were last year in the finals. They have unfinished business. They came in, they see Dallas as the obstacle to get through. And through 5 periods, Connor and Leon are playing as though, yeah, this is it. This is our chance. We're not going to waste this opportunity. And they've been excellent in these hockey games.
An opportunity, Rob, for them to play with the lead here. But what is the balance between playing, responsible, risk-free kind of hockey and not taking your foot off the gas?
Well, you just have to play the same way you've been playing. And this is a great example for the Oilers is don't do what the LA Kings did in the first series. LA would get a lead in every game, and then they would go into a prevent defense. and it allowed the Oilers to find momentum and find their skating legs. The Oilers just have to simply play the same way. They're not giving up anything. So it's not as though you have to change your defensive strategy and just, okay, all of a sudden we're just going to lay back. The Oilers aren't giving up odd man breaks. So they got to continue to do what they're doing and get pucks in, get forecheck. If you are forechecking the opposition, they are a long, long way away from scoring a goal on you. So for the Oilers, they don't change anything. Simply the only difference between what they did tonight and going forward is just stay disciplined. Don't take penalties. And if you do that, you give yourself a good chance of winning the hockey game. So it has been a really good 40 minutes again for the Edmonton Oilers.
And they're working with that split that you referenced in the first intermission there, with 1 minute of really unproductive power play time having already expired, but still a minute to try and capitalize or at least get off on the right foot to start this period, Rob.
Well, yes. I mean, they could salt this game away with a power play goal. The problem that happens with a minute power play at the end in that beginning of the third is, you've allowed the defenders, as I said, to rest. So their 4 best penalty killers will be well rested. And 2, you lose the advantage of the face-off in the offensive zone. Usually when you start a power play, you're in the offensive zone. Well, now we're starting at center. So they have to get the puck in. Now, the Edmonton Oilers have a cheat code in Connor McDavid that allows them to get in very quickly and set up, but it does take some time. So not ideal, but what we've seen before, and we just have to go back a couple series against the LA Kings. It was, I think, 10 seconds off a face-off at center that they scored a goal on the power play. So the Oilers are capable of putting one in. And to me, the Oilers are sitting in a really nice spot at 3-0. I think they learned their lesson, but 4-0 is still better than 3-0. So look for the Oilers to try to extend the lead a little bit more.
That's our Inside the Game analyst, Rob Brown. More from him after the game coming up on the Oilers Overtime show. Right now, we're at the intermission, brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring. This is your Ford Dealers NHL hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Looking for custom flags, banners, or canopy tents? Aurora Flags and Banners has a dedicated team to provide you with custom solutions and quality products. Aurora Flags has proudly serviced Canadian businesses and organizations for more than 30 years. Get a quote today at auroraflags.com.
Blue-collar work deserves big dollar perks. Get a heavy wallet with Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals is hiring heavy equipment technicians, maintenance supervisors, PM servicemen, maintenance coordinators, and pretty much every other position that makes Alberta go. We help move the earth that makes Alberta grow. So why not work for a company that makes your bank account grow too? Visit heavymetalequipment.ca to find your new career. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals, helping you move the earth.
Chemco is more than just a trusted local name. Chemco has been building industry across Canada for more than 60 years. From engineering through to commissioning, construction, maintenance, and beyond, Chemco's multidiscipline approach stands firmly on the belief that Chemco cares. It's not just what they do, it's how they do it. Visit Chemco.com and discover how they can support your project today. Chemco, proud fans of the Edmonton Oilers, serving and supporting communities across Canada for over 60 years. Looking for custom flags, banners, or canopy tents? Aurora Flags and Banners has a dedicated team to provide you with custom solutions and quality products. Aurora Flags has proudly serviced Canadian businesses and organizations for more than 30 years. Get a quote today at auroraflags.com.
With Global News, I'm Thomas Dias. Police say speed is believed to have been a factor in a fatal 2-vehicle collision in North Edmonton that took place just after 10 o'clock this morning. A white Cadillac Escalade struck a white Honda Civic as the Civic was turning left across the path of the Escalade at 97th Street and 165th Avenue. A 71-year-old man who had been driving the Civic was rushed to hospital where he was declared dead. A 16-year-old boy who had been driving the Escalade suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Canada Post customers could feel the pain of delays soon after the union representing 55,000 postal workers swore off overtime shifts. The union backed off from a strike threat, saying negotiators need time to review Canada Post's latest contract offers. And Hudson's Bay says it's now planning to sell up to 28 of its store leases to a BC mall owner who wants to launch a new modern department store. Canada's oldest company says it will seek court permission for Ruby Lou to take over some properties the department store and Saks leased in Alberta, BC, and Ontario. News on demand at 880ched.com.
At Fountain Tire, we're all about one thing, taking care of your vehicle. Oh, and your wallet. I guess that's two things. Save up to 20% off select tires until June 14th. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Did you hear what happened to Rick while he was building his fence?
Yeah, he hit a natural gas line. They had to evacuate his entire neighborhood at dinner time, too. I bet he didn't make any new friends that day.
It cost him a ton to get the line repaired. I wonder why he didn't get his underground utilities marked.
Don't be that person. If you're digging on your property, request a locate for natural gas lines. It's free and can prevent serious injury or financial loss. And you won't upset the neighbors. Visit clickbeforeyoudig.com. A safety message brought to you by ATCO.
The same AI-powered technology that helps Oilers fans move through security efficiently at Rogers Place is also available for Edmonton area schools, hospitals, and workplaces. Evolve Technology, proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers and official security screening partner of Rogers Place, helps identify potential threats and create safe experiences at hockey games and wherever people gather. Visit Rogers Place to experience Evolve live or check out evolve.com for more information. That's EVOLV.com.
At Fountain Tire, we're all about one thing, taking care of your vehicle. Oh, and your wallet. I guess that's two things. Save up to 20% off select tires until June 14th. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Time now for the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. We do have a final in the first game, which was back and forth. Medicine Hat and Rimouski, the host team. The Tigers out of the Western Hockey League, of course, with 3 third-period goals, one of which including Gavin McKenna, and that was all that they needed. 2 coming from Bryce Pickford, who is rapidly ascending draft boards. There's a name you'll want to remember. Bryce Pickford out of Edmonton, currently playing for the Medicine Hat Tigers. But they are victorious 5-4 in Rimouski. So nice to update you on that. And as far as the Toronto Blue Jays go, they ended up falling 3-1 to the Tampa Bay Rays. That is the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Pizza 73, official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers, who are currently leading the Dallas Stars 3-0. They are out shooting them 23-16. They are out hitting them 38-21. The only real advantage for Dallas right now is in the face-off circle. We'll see how integral that proves to be across the final 20 minutes of this game. We will talk to you afterwards. This has been At the Intermission, brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring. Jack and Bob are next. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Rogers is Canada's largest and most reliable 5G network. We're made for Oilers fans. You can stream Leon scoring in Leduc. Watch Tide tie things up in Tofield. Or check out Connor doing Connor things in Kalmar. And even watch Stewart steal the show while you're in Sedalia. Try saying that 3 times fast. Rogers, proud partner and fan of your Edmonton Oilers.
RS Breakers and Controls, Canada's leader in new, used, tested, and obsolete circuit breakers, MCC buckets, bus plugs, and switches. They have everything you need to maintain your aging electrical infrastructure, ensuring it operates as good as new. Their 24/7 emergency response gets you back up and running quickly, saving valuable time and money. Minimal generators or modifications needed, and like-for-like replacements mean no special inspections. Don't replace, repair your legacy equipment with RS. Visit rsbreakers.com.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
3-0 hockey game as we bring you back inside our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. The Oilers with 1 in the first, 2 in the second. Nugent Hopkins a goal and an assist tonight. Kulak and Brown 2 goals in 73 seconds to turn a 1-0 lead into a 3-0 advantage and a power play to start this third period. McDavid, Draisaitl, Perry, Bouchard, and Nugent Hopkins, your Atco Energy power play quintet, as the Oilers look to essentially put this game away. Edmonton comes up with a face-off, and it's McDavid carrying the puck into the offensive zone. Gives it up for Perry. He was taken down. Nugent Hopkins tried to slide it down low for Draisaitl. The puck deflected, eventually grabbed by the Rocket Richard winner. And now it's McDavid. Draisaitl peering inside. Threw it across. McDavid will pick it up. Works off a check from Sam Steele. Around the Draisaitl. Just beneath the right half boards, he'll give it up for McDavid, coming off the goal line with a feed to Bouchard. Flick back to McDavid, rolls up top, and a good play by Colin Blackwell, who's really been pretty good on the penalty kill tonight. Oh, a big collision. McDavid and Blackwell, and it's offside against Edmonton, and that was an inadvertent collision. Draisaitl thought about giving...
We got a penalty.
They did. Blackwell for interference.
It's a 5-on-3. Got to score.
Number 15, 2 minutes. Interference.
So McDavid bumped it in, and when he ducked around Colin Blackwell...
Ooh. He knew what he was doing. Good call by the officials. Jack, this is the Oilers, as you know, their 13th playoff game. Right now they're on pace to have only the second game where they've had more power plays than the opposition. They got a great chance here. Win the draw, get it to the net, attack the net. 5-on-3.
20 seconds. Off the face-off, Sam Steele to Cody Ceci, hard up the right-hand boards and out.
Oilers thought it went into a bench.
That'll drain most of the 5-on-3 power play time. They're not arguing too much. Here's Draisaitl, mishandled at center. Another good play by Steele. Didn't get down the ice. Bouchard to Nugent Hopkins. Play is onside. Feeds McDavid to the net. Draisaitl one touch. Nugent Hopkins waits and shoots, and the net was wide open. But Steele was in the way and deflected it harmlessly into the mesh as one of the penalties expired. And I don't blame Nugent Hopkins there, Bob. He was waiting for a path to clear. He had a wide open net, but he had 2 stars right in front of the net. Dragged, and finally fired it off. Maybe it was Lindell that got it.
2D on the ice here in the second power play unit. Still a minute 35. These guys might only get 30 seconds. If they win the draw, this group will shoot.
And that group includes Wollman and Klingberg. Wollman stepping up, trying to hold the zone, and he does for Zach Hyman, who's out there with Evander Kane and Adam Henrique. Ruled good to go for the third period. Shot Kane, and a glove save made by Jake Ottinger from distance.
Don't mind that at all.
Minute 18 to go, and the penalty to Blackwell for interference. For now, the top unit remains on the bench. And one of the reasons you utilize 2 defensemen here is, of course, you've got a 3-goal lead.
Paul Coffey spends a lot of time with the second unit, Jack.
Face-off win for Adam Henrique. Wollman across to Klingberg. In close quarters, turned it over. And now it's a shorthanded breakaway. Jumping up, Wyatt Johnston to the net. And a backhander forced wide. And Johnston needed that. He's been mired in a real slump. And Skinner forced it wide. What a chance for Dallas, shorthanded. And they can't get it done. Kane's return pass to Klingberg is a poor one. And this second unit will change. And the top unit comes on with still 45 seconds to go in the Atco power play. 3-0 Edmonton. McDavid, a burst of speed over the line. Perry to Draisaitl, swung back. 2 defensemen on the ice here, Bob, with a 3-goal lead. Kulak shoveled it down low. McDavid couldn't tuck it in tight. So no Nugent Hopkins out there. Nurse and Kulak, 2 defensemen, as Edmonton going a little bit conservative here.
Well, you hate to lose momentum, but this is a huge sequence for Dallas.
17 and a half minutes left in the hockey game, and offside whistled against Edmonton.
Wow.
It's not as huge a sequence because Wyatt Johnston didn't convert the shorthanded breakaway.
And you got 2 defensemen on the ice, Klingberg and Walman there. That can't be happening.
And Skinner just waited Johnston out as he dragged it to his backhand and ended up sifting it off the shaft of Skinner's stick. Terrific save by Stuart Skinner. His 17th of the night. He's skinning off a draw, won by Dallas in the neutral zone, fired down the ice, and that'll pretty much do it for an Edmonton power play. So they don't cash in on 20 seconds worth of 5-on-3, but also 3 more minutes have been drained off the clock. 17 to play. Edmonton 3, Dallas no score in Game 2 of this West Final.
Butter's got to get some of the guys on the ice here, get them going here in the third.
Bouchard will shoot it in from center. Game 3 will be Sunday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Bob and I will have it for you on the Oilers Radio Network. Frederick to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Scoop back to Frederick. Remember, Nugent-Hopkins didn't get any power play time on that last offering. Now he's got the puck 5-on-5. He spins and backhands it down low for Hyman. Frederick tried to get inside of Mikko Rantanen and could not. Advanced through to Rope Hintz. Nurse is back defensively, and Hintz will go nowhere. Behind the net, though, kept alive by Mikhail Granlund. But his pass sails through the slot untouched. And now we've got a penalty. Hintz down, and Nurse has dropped him. Dallas still has control of the puck. And have they whistled it down because Hintz is hurt? Yes, they have. Nurse is wondering why the agony on the ice from Rope Hintz as the trainers come out to take a look. Time of the penalty will be 3:48. High sticking was the problem the other night for Edmonton. 2 high sticking penalties in the third period.
We have not seen what happened here. It was a cross check, and
it was a bit of a
chop.
Stick, chop right into the midsection.
Hintz is slow to get up. He's not putting a lot of weight on it.
Left leg.
They're going to take a look at this
for a spear. Let's get the call ringside.
Major penalty under review.
Yeah, they did call a 5-minute major, and I wonder whether they called a spear. Hintz is hobbling underneath. If it's a 5-minute major, that puts Dallas on the power play for 5 full minutes.
There was nothing happening in that sequence. You got to just skate away. No matter what, they're going to be shorthanded.
What do you think? Is that a 5, though?
I don't think it's a 5. I think it's a 2. He chopped him.
Yeah, he didn't spear him.
He chopped him. He chopped him. It's a slash.
I'm wondering why they called. I think they might have suspected it was a spear and called a 5, and it's going to turn into a 2, would be my guess. That's not a spear. And often what we're seeing is the 5 are called so they have an opportunity to review it and get it right. So let's see what Jean Ibert comes up with. Here comes the announcement. I'm guessing this is going to be reduced to a 2.
After review, it's a 2-minute minor for slashing on 25.
There it is. That's a good call. And I'm not... My partner is a little sometimes to the other side of things, but that's a 2, not a 5.
It was a 2. Right. It was a 2. They got it right. It's an unnecessary 2.
I think they suspected a spear, and that's why it was called a 5 to begin with.
Now they got to get a kill here. You don't want to give them any momentum. And they lost momentum on the power play of their own. Get a kill.
3-0 in favor of Edmonton.
They're throwing stuff on the ice here at Dallas.
And They'll get that sorted. Napa Auto Parts penalty kill. You've got Woolman, Bouchard, Enrique Nugent-Hopkins. Face-off win for Dallas. Matt Duchesne won it, threw it across. Rantanen bobbled it briefly. Enrique challenging. So Nurse in the box slashing, a centering pass, and Woolman got a piece of that one. Duchesne in the corner, trying to keep it alive. Robertson peeled it out of danger for Heiskanen. Across to Heiskanen. Rantanen back to Heiskanen. Rantanen, deep right corner, another muff. Duchesne in tight, and that's broken up and cleared by Woolman. Mikko Rantanen has not been at his best in this series. He had 2 bobbles on that power play, and it threw off the Dallas timing on the man advantage.
Oilers need some up pressure here. Don't give him an easy zone entry.
Lead pass, Robertson hits the line. Brown on him. Heiskanen knifed it between the wickets of Stetcher, and then it was twisted back off the glass and out by Kulak, and Heiskanen able to take over. Thus far, Dallas, a very quiet-looking power play. Robertson stood up by the aggressive Stetcher. In the corner, Rantanen stripped from behind by Stetcher, and he'll launch one down the left-hand side. Boy, Troy Stetcher's a gamer, isn't he? 5 minutes gone by in the third, and down to 40 seconds on this Dallas power play. Harley to Sagan. He'll dump it in from center ice. Bouchard, big swing, drove it to the point, held in by Harley, threw it across, picked off, good read by Woolman, and the puck easily cleared, and the Stars just not getting anything done on the man advantage. Granlund walks it back in, but he made one extra move to his left, and he drew his own team offside with 22 seconds to go on the Napa Auto Parts penalty kill. Edmonton still very much in control at 3-0, and 14:36 left in regulation with the neutral zone faceoff upcoming. Dallas will need a quick win here if they want any chance to get set up with the power play still intact. Jamie Benn will take it against Connor Brown. Brown tipped home Edmonton's 3rd goal of the game late in the second period. Face-off win for Benn, rifled in by Marchment, and that clearly caught the mesh. Hit the glass and sailed out of play, so the face-off comes all the way back to the neutral zone, and Dallas making one execution mistake after another. They've got some guys at the top end of their lineup that are fighting the puck. Wow. Wyatt Johnston.
And they're still up 1-0 in this series.
Mikko Rantanen. Yep. And, of course, Jason Robertson.
But they'll get better. And that's why the Oilers got to make this 3-0 lead count here, Jack. Steele's been good for them.
Excellent. He's been their best forward. In my opinion, he's been their best forward, and it isn't close. Jamie Benn beaten off the draw by McDavid, blasted in by Jake Woolman, and that'll pretty much do it for a Dallas power play that failed to generate anything. Harley up the right-hand side for Steele. Stars don't get a shot on the power play. Their only shot of this period was the shorthanded chance for Wyatt Johnston. Nurse comes out of the box, broken up by Heiskanen. A complete reversal on special teams tonight. Dadonov, sharp angle shot, clipped the side of the net. Jamie Benn in close quarters, trying to protect against Nugent-Hopkins. Dadonov in front, that was tipped. Heiskanen back down low for Dadonov from behind the net, looking for Steele, broken up by Hyman. Jamie Benn over to Heiskanen, and Evander Kane with a good read forced that puck up ice. They'll wave off icing with 13 and a half minutes left in regulation. Kane keeping the pressure on. First Harley, and then he landed a hit on Bischel. Finally cleared by Granlund, but Kulak will wait for Draisaitl to tag back onside, which he does, and flings the puck down low. And right now, Edmonton determined to force Dallas to come the full 200 feet if they're going to beat him. Wyatt Johnston, left wing for Granlund. Forced down wide by Stetcher. Sharp angle shot. Skinner did not cheat off the post and made the save. Rantanen on the rebound for Dallas. Back to the point. Bischel misread it, and he knows it. Banged his stick on the ice angrily as Ottinger forced to play it. Close quarters, Bischel turned over. Stetcher will just funnel it back to the other corner where Bischel Bischel is waiting for it. Beat Kapanen up the left-hand side. Rantanen. Bouchard back defensively. Rantanen fell down. Desperate pass to the middle, intercepted by Adam Henrique. He comes to the red line and smartly shoots it in. 12 and a half minutes to play in game 2, and Edmonton looking for more. Bouchard looking for Henrique. That pass was broken up by Petrovic. Across to Lindell. Connor Brown finishes his check as the Stars spill it back to center. On the rush, Colin Blackwell to Robertson. Shot and a block made by Evan Bouchard. Rebound Lindell. Back in front. Bouchard is slightly hobbled, but the Oilers did nudge it successfully back to center, and now you've got Lindell and Ceci trading the puck in their own zone for Dallas as we dip under 12 minutes remaining in the third period of Game 2 of this West Final. Dallas took Game 1 6-3 with 5 unanswered goals in the third period, becoming the 4th team in the history of the league to pull that one off. Oilers looking to even the series with games 3 and 4 back in Edmonton on Sunday afternoon and Tuesday night. McDavid with control of the puck at neutral ice. Wheels his way around Tyler Seguin, charging in. Poke checked off his stick, and a clear for Marchment up the left-hand side. This may be icing against the Stars and is whistled as such with 11:25 left in regulation. And Edmonton still holding a 3-0 lead in Game 2.
We're watching Evan Bouchard down on the Oilers bench, and he is talking to TD Forrest after getting a shot right off the instep of his foot. And the Oilers can ill afford to lose him. He's 26 minutes a game, Jack. He's leading all defensemen in scoring. And he's doing a good job now in the PK, too.
Heiskanen under control for Dallas. Launches one down the middle. Marchment unable to reel it in. Skinner slow to play the puck. Turned it over. Sagan centering pass for Duchesne. Broken up by Kulak. And the only area of weakness tonight for Stuart Skinner is his puck handling. Here's Harley off a giveaway. Edmonton looking to take advantage deep in the offensive zone. It's Janmark to Draisaitl. Takes a peek and then finds Troy Stetcher. He'll walk the line and shoot high and wide. Rebound Corey Perry. Swings it down low for Leon Draisaitl. Harley on him. Matthias Janmark knocked off the puck. Harley regains control for Dallas, but we're inside 10 and a half minutes remaining. Nugent Hopkins comes back on the ice along with Vasily Podkolzin and Kasperi Kapanen. Wyatt Johnston will gain the line for Dallas. Right wing, loading and firing, and a kick save made by Skinner. Just the third shot of the period for the Dallas Stars, and a good one, and Skinner makes the save. Big hit on Podkolzin applied by Bischel. But Podkolzin kept his feet. Kapanen there, trying to rake it out of there as Bischel. Precious time continues to ebb. Still lodged along the half boards. Bischel and Podkolzin are going to go off here. It's going to be roughing penalties, and now they might fight, but the linesmen I don't think are going to let him go.
If I'm Bischel, I don't want to fight Podkolzin. Bischel hasn't fought a lot. Podkolzin, we saw what he did earlier this season.
Overhand right, KO Jeremy Lauzon. 9:57 to go in the third period. Coincidental roughing minors, but Edmonton firmly in charge of Game 2 of this Western Conference Final. 3-0 our score. Nugent Hopkins in the first.
Dallas number 6, minor penalty, cross-checking. Edmonton 92, minor penalty for roughing. 4-on-4.
Kulak and Brown in the second. And you heard the official. 4-on-4 when we come back to Big D. Edmonton closing in on a win that will even the series at 1 game apiece. 3-0 for the Oilers. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey and the Stanley Cup playoffs on the Oilers Radio Network.
Did you know that there are 9 Napa Auto Parts stores serving the greater Edmonton area and have been doing so for more than 50 years? Since Napa first opened in Edmonton, the community has grown and vehicles have changed, but you can always trust Napa Auto Parts to provide you with the expert know-how and the best vehicle parts. And if that isn't enough, every time you visit a Napa Auto Parts store when you present your AMA card, you receive an additional 10% discount on all retail parts and accessories. Visit your local Napa Auto Parts store for more offers and expert know-how. Napa Auto Parts is a proud fan of the Edmonton Oilers.
All right, give me something big.
The Ford It's a Big Deal event is on.
Bigger.
Get a big truck and an even bigger deal.
Love it. Now the details.
Right now, lease a 2025 F-150 STX with the black appearance package from $220 bi-weekly at 0% APR for 24 months with $43.75 down. That's like $110 weekly.
Now bring it home.
Plus, there's a $750 bonus for eligible Ford owners. Hurry into your Alberta Ford store. Visit Ford.ca today.
Proudly headquartered in oil country, Capital Power is delivering reliable and affordable power today while building clean power systems for tomorrow, creating the balanced energy solutions communities across Alberta and North America can depend on. Visit capitalpower.com to learn how they are powering change by changing power. Be part of their energy and join Capital Power as we all cheer on our Edmonton Oilers on their quest to win it all.
All games, all seasons. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
3-0 hockey game here in Dallas at the midway point of the third period. They play the Garth Brooks staple. But right now, that's all the Stars fans have to lean on for entertainment. Their hockey club is in deep trouble. Off the draw, their 7-game winning streak at home in the playoffs in jeopardy. Off the draw, Granlund to Lindell. Still time for Dallas, but they got to get going. Thus far, just 5 shots in this third period. Rantanen out to Heiskanen. Right circle, wrist shot, step wide, rebound. What a save! Skinner launching across the blue paint to deny Lindell. Spectacular! Heiskanen fires and a block shot. McDavid, who tonight has collected his 20th point of the Stanley Cup playoffs, 4th player in the history of the game with 4 straight 20-point playoff seasons. Bossy, Trottier, and Sergei Fedorov the others. Thomas Harley dangling, circling the net, top of the circle, shot, kick save, Skinner, rebound McDavid. Remember, this is a 4-on-4, so a lot of open ice. With a coincidental penalty, Nurse to Hyman, a shot off the rush, juggled by Ottinger and kept alive for Lindell.
It's just Edmonton's second shot of this period.
Here's Jason Robertson dialing it up. Dishing off, Wyatt Johnston, wrist shot, save, Skinner, rebound Harley. And he mishandles the puck, and that forces Dallas back to center with 8.5 left in regulation. Harley steps in, Johnston fires, misses high glove. He's been ice cold since having the game winner in Game 7 against Colorado. Jason Robertson in across the line, he'll wind it along. That's going to be picked up by Ceci. Johnston lost the handle. Wallman didn't get it out. Johnston had it. Lost it. Got it back. Just turned 22 did Wyatt Johnston. Robertson up top. Ceci. Shot Heiskanen. Tipped wide by Robertson. Shot by Ceci. Sails wide. Rebound. Heiskanen. Double ricochet. Johnston to Heiskanen. Penalties are over to Bischel and Podkolzin. Back to 5-on-5 with 7:45 remaining in the hockey game.
Oilers need a clear, Jack.
3-0. Draisaitl gives him that clear to center. Podkolzin was not at the red line. He's going to be guilty of icing here. 7:36 remaining in the third period, and still a 3-0 lead for the Edmonton Oilers with a face-off coming back in the offensive zone for the host, Dallas Stars.
Do you take a timeout here, given that you've had your players on the ice for a while?
Well, you ice the puck. You can't take a timeout.
There you go. That's a big change.
Well, it's been several years. You want to talk about a 2-line pass next?
It's only Jack. Jack, it's only been 15 years for you and me. When did they make that change?
Here's Draisaitl.
I'm still in shock after our Troy Stecher interview at the end of the first period.
Apparently. All right, Duchesne wins the faceoff. Bischel a shot through heavy traffic. Rebound, Sagan couldn't get it off. Troy Stecher up the left-hand side. You've got Podkolzin back to Stecher. Had it taken away. Stars with the puck. Centering pass. Sagan lets it go through. Waiting, shooting. Petrovic could not get it on net. to Sagan. Deep right corner. Stetcher protecting. Wraparound Marchment. Easy save for Stuart Skinner. You're not going to fool him from that far post. And with 7:11 to play in the third period, Edmonton closing on a split here at the American Airlines Center. Nugent Hopkins with a goal and an assist. Kulak and Brown with 2 goals late in the second period. No scoring thus far in the third. It's Edmonton 3 and Dallas 0. Game 2 of the Western Conference Final. Our live coverage continues in just a moment on the Oilers Radio Network.
Today you can score at A&W. Enjoy a juicy grass-fed beef mama burger and fries for only $5. Available in-store or on the A&W mobile app at participating locations in OilCountry. This fantastic deal is available all day today at A&W.
Our people, our team. It's what business owners almost always say is their most important resource. But strong businesses don't just find great people. They make sure their teams stay healthy, engaged, and performing at their best. A benefits plan from Alberta Blue Cross is more than just drug and dental. They support the whole person with flexible coverage levels that fit the size and circumstance of your business. Find a plan that gets results at ab.bluecross.ca.
Get ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, and breathtaking views. Experience resort-like amenities including a full-time concierge, yoga and fitness studios, golf simulator, plus indoor and outdoor lounges for you to live your best life. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com and make your home high above the ordinary.
Today you can score at A&W. Enjoy a juicy grass-fed beef mama burger and fries for only $5. Available in-store or on the A&W mobile app at participating locations in OilCountry. This fantastic deal is available all day today at A&W.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
3-0 hockey game, 7:11 to play in the third period. The Oilers closing in on a victory that'll even this best-of-7 Western Conference Final in a game apiece. Florida leads the Eastern Conference Final 2-0 with games 3 and 4 back at Sunrise. And quite frankly, the Panthers look like a wagon. Sam Bennett is having a Claude Lemieux type of playoff run.
He's going to get paid.
Face-off win for Tyler Sagan back to the point. And a drive taken, but put well wide of the mark. Again, Petrovic and Bischel out trailing 3-0 with 7 minutes to play.
Maybe just because they're out against the Oilers' third line, that could be the only rationale I'd have.
Bischel up the gut, taken away by John Klingberg, and from center ice, he'll rifle it back in. This is smart puck utilization from the Edmonton Oilers. Duchesne, a stretch play. Picked up by Marchment. Can't do anything with the puck, and Evander Kane a soft chip back to center. Stars are able to regain. Duchesne in close quarters against Adam Henrique. Fought for, controlled, finally in the high slot, and directed out by Henrique with one hand up to Kane, who got flattened by Bischel. But he did take the hit to make the play and got it in deep. Petrovic ambles his way to center. He'll dump it in and change with 6 1/4 left in the third period. 3-0 Edmonton. Kulak, who scored the second goal, up to McDavid. Backing his way to the center line is Zach Hyman, and he ultimately hoists one behind the Dallas defense. Harley takes a pass from Heiskanen, who jumps up in the play, but Dodonov can't find Jamie Benn cleanly. And Hyman is able to force it back down low into the Dallas zone.
Bouchard's second shift since being hit in the foot, Jack.
Stars can't get anything going offensively. Harley bottled up at his own blue line by the relentless McDavid. Jamie Benn stopped by Bouchard at center, and Connor McDavid will just take a skate back into his own zone, leave it for Bouchard to alleviate the pressure. Line change for Edmonton, 5.5 minutes left. High flip for Bouchard, settled by Frederick. Ahead to Leon Draisaitl, he'll poke it beyond the reach of Cody Ceci. Back behind the net, Kapanen to Draisaitl, won the battle, tried to center, and that was broken up by Johnston. Bouchard across, Woolman, his shot, tipped away by Rantanen. Kapanen could not hold the zone. Granlund comes up with a puck, but is immediately stifled by Leon Draisaitl, who took a hard hit, but forced it back through the middle. Dadonov got a healthy piece of Draisaitl and followed it up, and Kapanen reverse popped him, and Dadonov went down. Frederick in front, all alone. Janmark backed it off the post, and then nudged it wide. I don't know how that stayed out.
Great play by Frederick.
To find Janmark all alone in front of Jake Ottinger. He hit the post. Ottinger couldn't find the rebound, and neither could Janmark. The puck stays out, and the game at least still available for Dallas. Ottinger is still in the pipes. The Stars dump it in. Duchesne's centering pass broken up. Stetcher with 4:20 to play. Up the right-hand side. Not out. Heiskanen a shot. Stick save made by Stuart Skinner. Rebound poke to the corner. Here's Matt Duchesne. Gave it away. Stetcher wedged it out safely. Evander Kane has Brown with him. He tried to center, and that was broken up at the last instant. Big hop into the corner. Kane crowds Rantanen and now Heiskanen as the clock dips inside 4 minutes to play, and the Oilers seemingly well on their way here.
Got to think they pull them here now, Jack.
Well, they can't get out of their own end the last 30 seconds. Robertson up to Thomas Harley at center ice. Ottinger right now still entrenched in the pipes. Nugent Hopkins lands a hit in the corner of the Oilers zone, and then Kulak, when he tried to pop it out to center ice, had it deflect out of play. A face-off coming to Skinner's left, and one more commercial timeout. We'll take a break from Dallas, Texas. The Edmonton Oilers poised to even the best-of-7 Western Conference final at a game apiece. They laid it 3-0. Back with a finish when we return on the Oilers Radio Network.
Ready to score big on your outdoor space? It's game time with Park Landscaping. Transform your backyard into a winning arena with Park Landscaping's expert team. From design to maintenance of lush lawns and state-of-the-art synthetic turf to inviting pools and captivating water features, Park Landscaping will make your outdoor space the MVP. Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in the game with Park Landscaping. Call 780-486-2744 today or email info@parklandscaping.ca.
Going back to school can be as scary as taking the winning shot, but it doesn't have to be. Northern Lakes College is here to help you meet all your goals and cheer you on. Explore programs in academic upgrading, apprenticeship trades, business and administrative studies, health, human service careers, resource technology, university studies, and more, including a wide range of courses available through continuing education. Score a great future with Northern Lakes College. NorthernLakesCollege.ca. Everywhere you need them to be.
Do you have tickets to an upcoming event at Rogers Place that you can't attend? Donate your tickets to the Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation Seats for Kids program, presented by Eagle Builders. Seats for Kids provides unused game tickets for charities, allowing children and families to enjoy hockey at Rogers Place. And for many, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. To be a part of the Seats for Kids program presented by Eagle Builders, please email edmonton@kidsupfront.com. That's edmonton@kidsupfront.com.
All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
3-0 hockey game, 3:32 to play, final period. Dallas net empty. 6-on-5 for the Stars. Offensive zone face-off. McDavid will take it against Wyatt Johnston to Stuart Skinner's left-hand side. Shots are 25-24. Edmonton. Nugent Hopkins, a first-period power play goal and an assist on Connor Brown's tip-in that made it 3-0 late in the second, in between Brett Kulak with his third career playoff goal in 89 games. Off the face-off, swung up ice by Hyman. A race for the empty net, and getting back just in time to draw icing is Matt Duchesne.
Wow, that surprised me, but he was right there. With Zach Hyman, he can fly. How about 12 hits in game one, Jack?
Well, he leads the league.
Got to find different ways to help the team.
Has 3 goals in this postseason, one of 9 Oilers with 3 goals. Kulak became the 17th Oiler with a 5-on-5 goal tonight. Here's Matt Duchesne. The depth of Edmonton winning the day thus far in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Duchesne, Miro Heiskanen. Duchesne, 6-on-5, tried to tuck it inside to Robertson, across to Rantanen, waits, backdoor. Duchesne's shot hit the side of the net. Kulak taken down. McDavid snatched the puck away. The net is empty. Nugent Hopkins gives it up for Zach Hyman, barreling to the net. and he forced it just wide. He thought he was slashed, and there's the penalty. A slashing call will be whistled against Dallas. Zach Hyman's stick ended up as kindling. Was that Randon who got him?
Dallas 96 minor penalty for slashing.
It was. And that effectively ends the competitive phase of this one. 2:53 to play in the third.
Now, he's going for the empty net on the shot there.
But he's not a clear path. Yeah. It's not a goal. Of course he's going for the empty net. You have to have a clear path.
Bobby was going to skate it in the corner. I'm just saying that Rantanen probably
saved a goal. Sure he did. Sure. But it wasn't a clear path.
Now, if you're Edmonton, this is the one time you don't have to force pucks to the net. You can kill some time
off. Wheel it around on the perimeter. Yep. Play four corners.
Yep.
Draisaitl. Face off. Win against Blackwell. Darnell Nurse. Smartly over to Troy Stetcher. Draisaitl kind of one-timed it to the opposite corner. Evander Kane and Corey Perry out there with Leon Draisaitl. A curious-looking ATCO Energy power play unit, obviously with Edmonton holding a 3-goal lead. No Draisaitl and McDavid together on the ice. And certainly no regular power play unit. Perry ducks back in through center. Draisaitl to Stetcher, across to Nurse, left point. Back to Draisaitl on the right half boards. And what Bob talked about is exactly what the Oilers are employing here. CC manages a clear, but only as far as center, and Darnell Nurse will just take a skate. I mean, this is, again, when you've got the lead and you're about to salt away a victory, you don't have to release the puck. Evander Kane will rush it in. It's 1-on-4. Edmonton conservatively at its own blue line. Now McDavid is on the ice. Lindell will send it down.
They're not
Skinner to handle. They're not pulling Ottinger. Yeah. 3-0 with 1:45 to go in the third. I mean, that was a chance. Lindell had the puck. If he had skated up ice, you could have theoretically pulled Ottinger, but now Edmonton is just going to milk clock here as McDavid and Klingberg just weave their way through the neutral zone. Zach Hyman will bring it into the attack zone for Edmonton, take it off his feet. A clear for the Stars, but Klingberg has plenty of time to come up with the puck, send it across to Kulak, and more time runs off, and Jake Ottinger isn't going anywhere. Game 2 is in the books. Edmonton is even the series. Oilers nearly got called for too many minutes. They got their signals crossed on a line change. 10 seconds are left in the power play. Troy Stetcher, with a minute to go, dumps it into the Dallas zone. So the Oilers have come to Dallas and gotten exactly what they wanted, a split, and they've regained home ice advantage in this Western Conference Final with games 3 and 4 in Edmonton. Sunday at 1 o'clock and Tuesday at 7. We'll have both of them for you on 880 CHED and the Oilers Radio Network. Sorry, Tuesday's game is 6 o'clock Mountain Time. My apologies, 6 o'clock local time. Liam Bichel off an Oiler dump in to Mikko Rantanen. Up the gut, a chance, a backhander sifted wide by Dadonov. Rantanen tried to center. Wyatt Johnston, quick shot, and he hooked one wide as Edmonton getting a little sloppy here in the final 20 seconds. Dallas just trying to get on the board. Wyatt Johnston hard to the net with a backhander sifted wide. Coming up with a puck is Mikko Rantanen. One-timer Bichel. Painful block shot by Frederick. And that'll do it. All 3 of Stuart Skinner's postseason wins this year have come by way of the shutout. And Edmonton does not permit Dallas a shot on net for the final 5.5 minutes of this game. 24 in total for Stuart Skinner tonight in terms of saves, and all the offense he needed, he got from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins tonight with a goal and an assist. It's 3-0 Edmonton in Game 2, and the Western Conference Final
we're even, man.
Is now tied at a game apiece. Game 3 will be Tuesday night, 1 o'clock. Game 3 will be Sunday afternoon, a 1 o'clock matinee, and Game 4 Tuesday night at 6. Skinner 24 saves and an emphatic road victory turned in by Edmonton, who has dominated this this series in 5 of the 6 periods, and they built on what they established over the 40 minutes, I thought, tonight, Bob, winning the 5-on-5 battle 2-0, and just as importantly, winning the special teams battle 1-0.
100%. Jack, the A-grade scoring opportunities, high danger through 2 periods, were 9-3 for Edmonton. The Oilers deserved this game. They were the better team from start to finish in every aspect. Better in goal, better on special teams, better at even strength, better off the rush, strong performance. And I had a couple of coaches tell me before the game, this team plays better when they're a little bit upset. They were upset the way they lost that game.
Well, they gave it away.
They gave it away.
Because Edmonton was the dominant team 5-on-5 through 40 minutes. They were, again, the superior team 5-on-5 tonight. And they also got a couple of breaks tonight.
They got some breaks, yes.
Brett Kulak shot ricocheted right back to him, and we go ringside with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And Ryan, we were just talking about the fact that tonight you completed what you started on Wednesday. How important was it early to get right back to that 5-on-5 game and assert your superiority in that aspect right away?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we played a good 5-on-5 game. Game 1, obviously, slipped away on the kill, and we were tested early on the kill, so nice to get that one too, get a little confidence. But and then the one on the power play, which we're going to need to have through this series. So I thought it was all around a good effort, and Stu made some big saves when we needed him to.
He did. You're going in this building, Nuge. The last 3 games here, game 5 last year, the first 2 games of this series, you now got 4 goals and 6 points. And you need, so much attention is given to Connor and Leon, but everybody's got to chip in. You guys have got goals from 13 forwards. Jack mentioned earlier, Brett Kulak made it the 17th player scoring at even strength. You need a lot of contributors, don't you, to have success?
Of course. That's what it's all about this time of year, and we know that we have guys to step up at any moment. So that's what builds a good team. Obviously, we got the big guns that, I mean, they're always going, but at this time of year, you need everybody to step up.
The reaction coming off a game where you probably felt at some level you handed it away. The reaction, is that what you expected from a veteran group? Park that one. Corey Perry, I thought, said it best. We came down here to get at least a split. There's no reason why we still can't walk away with a split. Is that a sign of a maturation in the club that ultimately has been down this road before?
Yeah, of course. It's, like you said, we're an experienced team. We've gone through a lot of ups and downs, and it's about showing up every day and making sure that backs against the wall, we're putting our best foot forward. And a good start tonight. Obviously, a long way to go.
Can I ask one favor? Ask Troy Stetcher about his after first period interview when you get into that locker room.
Okay.
Do me that favor. Oh, it was wonderful. Okay. It was memorable. Trust me.
Okay, good.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, okay,
Take care, buddy.
Yeah,
That's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Goal and an assist. The only offense Stuart Skinner would need. Brett Kulak, Connor Brown. I mean, Bob, how often have we said it in this postseason? Look at the goal scorers tonight. Yeah. Nugent-Hopkins, Kulak, Brown. Yes, McDavid and Draisaitl contributed, but it seems they're the ones that are supplemental in this playoff run, which has now reached 9 victories.
100%. And right now, if you're Pete DeBoer, you're saying, we're lucky it's 1-1 because they've been the better team for 5 of the 6 periods. And, hey, small little things tonight. It's a small, you can't read into the Oilers going 1 for 5 in the power play. The last power play, they were killing the clock. And they didn't need the dagger up 3-0. Maybe in the past.
The penalty kill is more important in the playoffs.
Always.
You and I have talked about
Forever.
this before.
I mean, you have a penalty.
That's how they got to the final
94% last year. Yeah. And when you added the shorthanded goals it worked out to 90s.
They were net -1 on the penalty kill.
It's crazy, right? But you need your goalie to be your best penalty killer. Now, that said, the second Dallas power play stunk tonight. They couldn't gain any zone entry. We'll have to wait and see on Rope Hintz. A little bit of a greasy play from Darnell Nurse on the slash. I don't think we saw Hintz the rest of the way tonight. Don't forget, he missed 4 of 6 games last year against the Oilers as well.
They have Robertson coming off an injury. He's not the same guy. He's really fighting the puck. Yeah. He had a couple of good looks tonight, Bob, and he just treated that puck like it was made of wood.
The Oilers got some bounces, though, too, tonight. Think of the second goal specifically for Brett Kulak. The Connor Brown deflection, good play.
That's a skill play.
But Edmonton missed a couple. McDavid hit the co-post shorthanded. Yep. They missed a couple 2-on-1s that were slam dunks. Nonetheless, full marks for the victory. How about Stuart Skinner?
Feaster 4, 3 shutouts.
That's unreal.
Yeah.
But right now it's good because it's 3 of the last 4 games. It's going to be jacked at Rogers Place.
He's got 4 career postseason shutouts in an Oiler uniform. The only guy with more, he's now second by himself, is Cujo with 5.
Yeah.
I mean, for as maligned as Skinner has been, he's also won 22 games and 4 by way of the bagel.
Oh, by the way, guess when Cujo started to take his game to the next level as a goalie? It didn't happen at like 22, 23. It was a little bit older on.
And it came in the playoffs, not really the regular season.
No. I mean,
he stamped himself as a true elite goaltender in the playoffs.
Upset Dallas in 97 and then outdueled Patrick Waugh in the final 3 games of round 1 in 98 against Colorado, who you talk about being a wagon. They're the best 2 centers in the league at that time with Forsberg and
Is
Sack.
Pete DeBoer concerned?
No. Because he's got a veteran team. Now, we got to wait and see what's up with Hintz. I don't think he should be concerned, but I got to tell you, what I like for Edmonton...
You don't think he should be concerned after what we've seen 5-on-5 through 2 games?
No. Okay. Not yet. Not yet, but the Oilers got to build on this. This was a good starting point. I loved how Paul Coffey rotated. He kept playing Stetcher. Stetcher just played balls out hockey. And I agree. He let it hang out on and off the air tonight. So there you go, on the ice.
Let's just not define what it means in that sense.
Yes, no kidding.
Troy Stetcher, the Edmonton Oilers win this game going away 3-0. And the Dallas Stars, this is a curious statistic. They have never led a conference final 2-0, whether they were the Minnesota North Stars, the Dallas Stars, who of course won the Stanley Cup in 1999 and went back to the Cup final in 2000. They have never led a conference final 2-0, and the Oilers made sure they would not with a not really dramatic, but an emphatic performance, quite frankly, tonight. 3-0 in a game that never really appeared in doubt. If you were in the building, there was no doubt who was winning this hockey game from late in the second period onward. Stuart Skinner, perfect on 24 shots. Nugent Hopkins, a goal and an assist. And Kulak and Brown salted it away, as it turned out, with 2 goals in a span of 73 seconds late in the second period. Jake Ottinger will be saddled with a loss. He stopped 22 of 25, and he sees his playoff record drop to 9-6. Skinner, again, that bizarre playoff record this year of 3-4 with 3 shutout victories. We do know we'll definitely be here for a Game 5. That's going to be next Thursday night from Dallas, and that will be a 6 o'clock Mountain Time start as well. But in between Games 3 and 4, Bob and I are next on the air on the Oilers Radio Network. It's a Sunday 1 o'clock matinee, Game 3 from Rogers Place, and that gives way to a Game 4 on Tuesday night, and that face-off will be 6 o'clock local time. That is to say 6 o'clock in Edmonton at Rogers Place. The next 2 games in Edmonton, where the Oilers will look to take command of this Western Conference Final in their bid to duplicate what Florida did last year. Go back to the Stanley Cup Final the year after losing the final and going ahead to win it. Who knows? We could see a rematch, but there's a long way to go. This series is only 2 games old, and it is now tied at a game apiece after Edmonton defeats Dallas 3-0 in Game 2. Until Sunday afternoon, and for Bob Stauffer, Rob Brown, and of course Brendan Escott, I'm Jack Michaels saying good night from Dallas, Texas, the American Airlines Center, site of Edmonton's Game 2 victory, 3-0 over the Dallas Stars. Ladies and gentlemen, the pleasure was all ours. The Rogers Postgame show starts right now.
Exclusive live interviews, expert analysis, and game highlights. This is the Rogers Postgame Show. Once again, here's Bob Stauffer on the Oilers Radio Network.
McDavid off the boards. He'll dish it off. Kulak a shot. Rebound, score! Brett Kulak following his own shot. Makes it 2-0 Edmonton with 4:37 to play in the second period.
There you go. That is Brett Kulak with his 3rd career playoff goal for the Edmonton Oilers, and that kind of put it out of reach. That is the highlight zone for Century Casinos, all in all games all season. Century Casinos, 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, Nexley, Edmonton International Airport at Century Mile. Welcome to the Winter Zone. From the Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth, this is a Rogers postgame show on the Oilers Radio Network.
When was the last time your electricity and natural gas provider made you feel like this? Low rates, no strings attached, year-round perks, and local energy experts who always have your back with Encore by Epcor. Find that carefree energy feeling at encore.epcor.com/carefree.
Customers are free to purchase natural gas or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822 toll-free.
Hockey season is back. And so are the deals at Boston Pizza. Cheer on your team while ordering off their game day menu or come in and see what great promotions they have going on. At Boston Pizza, they always have something craveable for you to enjoy. Boston Pizza, proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers. Cheers to a great hockey season.
This is the Rogers Postgame Show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Nugent Hopkins to Kane. Wrist shot, save Ottinger. Rebound swatted back to the high slot. That was a 3-on-2 for Edmonton. Nugent Hopkins shot tipped home. What a tip by Connor Brown. 3-0 Edmonton.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with a goal, an assist, plus 2 in tonight's game. In his last 3 visits to Dallas in the playoffs, he has 4 goals and 6 points. There's some secondary offense from a couple guys not named McDavid and Draisaitl, and that is the Alberta Blue Cross Travel Insurance goal of the game. Health, dental, travel. We got the coverage you need. Visit ab.bluecross.ca. Let's bring a border inside the game analyst, Rob Brown. Rob, your thoughts on the Oilers' performance tonight?
Professional. A nice rebound after a very disappointing third period in game 1. They came out, they needed to be more disciplined. They took 2 penalties. When they were shorthanded, they need to do a better job killing. They killed them both off. They continued the 5-on-5 play, where they were the better of the teams. I do believe that Dallas pushed in this game and had some great opportunities. And you got a fantastic effort from your goaltender, Stuart Skinner. So if we talked before the game. You win specialty teams, you win goaltending battle, you're going to win the hockey game and usually a series. And in this game tonight, the Oilers won both of those battles. Game 1, they didn't. Game 2, they did, and that's why they're going home with a split.
All right. Again, not necessarily 100% reliant on McDavid and Draisaitl. Some other guys chipping in some offense.
Well, you look at teams that win the Stanley Cups. Go, for example, the Florida Panthers last year. It wasn't all Barkov and Reinhart. It was Bennett. It was Rodriguez. It was all guys throughout their lineup. You just can't rely on one line to win you or one group of guys to win you a Stanley Cup or a series. Eventually it catches up to you. And at the end of the playoffs, the team holding the Stanley Cup has gotten contributions up and down their lineup. And it is so deflating. And I can tell you from in Vegas, for example, that series, they did an incredible job against the Oilers' power play. They did a fantastic job limiting the damage of Connor and Leon. And they lost in 5 games. They're probably thinking, okay, what else could we have done? So the Oilers getting scoring or productivity out of players down their lineup, it just, well, tonight they got it and Dallas didn't. And the Edmonton Oilers won the hockey game.
All right. Obviously, no changes. The other thing that this does, Rob, it's a subtle thing. Obviously, Matthias Ekholm's chomping at the bit to get back in, but they don't want to rush him back in. It's a difference if it's 1-1 or 2-0, isn't it?
Oh, it is. Desperation if you're down 2-0 because you're one big game from Ottinger from falling behind and facing elimination. So I heard you talking about Stetcher. He was excellent in this hockey game. And well, actually, you have a shutout. Your entire defensive core played pretty good. So you don't have to rush him back. Bring Ekholm back when he's ready. And I'm sure he's pushing. But you don't need him to come back unless he's 100% ready because the players that have jumped into his spot have played very, very well.
Great stuff, Rob.
Sounds good, Bob.
The Plus Play of the Game is brought to you by Catelli Protein Plus with the classic taste of Catelli and 17 grams of protein. It's the most delicious way to score with your taste buds on and off the ice. And tonight, we're going to give it to, some of the unsung heroes in tonight's game. The Oilers fronting a lot of blocks, blocking a lot of shots. And at the end of the day, Stuart Skinner gets his 3rd shutout in the last 4 games. He's tonight's second star, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, big part of the victory as well. This is the Rogers Postgame Show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Get paid to stay with Edmonton's best hotels. Book through edmontonsbesthotels.com and receive up to $225 in gas, meal, or cash cards. There's over 52 hotels to choose from. Edmonton's best hotels. Get paid to stay.
Tired of skyrocketing energy bills? Switch to clean, affordable power with Horizon Solar. Whether you want to cut costs, go green, or increase your home's value, Horizon Solar has you covered with tailored solar energy solutions. With current government incentives, there's never been a better time to make the switch. Own your power, control your bills, live sustainably. For your free assessment, call Horizon Solar today or visit horizonsolar.com to get started. Horizon Solar, where going green makes sense.
Over the last decade, the world of work has changed dramatically. It's a change that can cause a disconnect between a company and its employees. But a partnership with Aon can help by making decisions that create a more flexible, engaged, and resilient workforce. Aon's experience and expertise, global understanding, and advanced analytics ensure that every client is better informed and better advised so that they can make better decisions. Whatever the next decade brings, Aon is in the business of better decisions.
Get paid to stay with Edmonton's best hotels. Book through edmontonsbesthotels.com and receive up to $225 in gas, meal, or cash cards. There's over 52 hotels to choose from. Edmonton's best hotels. Get paid to stay.
You're tuned in to the Rogers Postgame Show on the official voice of the Edmonton Oilers, 880 CHAD, and on the Oilers Radio Network.
Pizza 73 out of town scoreboard brought to you by Pizza 73. The Edmonton Oilers have evened the series here against Dallas. An impressive, solid lockdown 3-0 shutout victory over the Stars. Series tied 1-1. Tomorrow, Game 3 in Florida. The Hurricanes facing a wagon in the Panthers. They're lighting teams up on the road. Hurricanes trail in that series 2-0, and it looked like they have no answer for the reigning Stanley Cup champs. Memorial Cup tonight. A goal and assist by consensus 26, number 1 overall pick Gavin McKenna. He was the first star. Medicine Hat beat host Rimouski 5-4. Again, the Oilers win 3-0. American Airlines Center, 25 saves officially for Stuart Skinner for the shutout, his third of the playoffs. And this is the Rogers Postgame Show on the Oilers Radio Network.
At Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, they recommend pairing locally distilled spirits and their ice-cold beer selection with... And Oilers win! Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, proud partners and fans of the Edmonton Oilers. Please enjoy responsibly.
Did you hear what happened to Rick while he was building his fence?
Yeah, he hit a natural gas line. They had to evacuate his entire neighborhood at dinner time, too. I bet he didn't make any new friends that day.
It cost him a ton to get the line repaired. I wonder why he didn't get his underground utilities marked.
Don't be that person. If you're digging on your property, request a locate for natural gas lines. It's free and can prevent serious injury or financial loss. And you won't upset the neighbors. Visit clickbeforeyoudig.com. A safety message brought to you by ATCO.
At Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, they recommend pairing locally distilled spirits and their ice-cold beer selection with... And Oilers win! Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, proud partners and fans of the Edmonton Oilers. Please enjoy responsibly.
Let's go to the Molson Cup 3 Stars, presented by Molson, the official beer of the Edmonton Oilers. Whether it's Canadian Ultra, Export, or Excel, there's a Molson with your name on it. You must be of legal drinking age. The third star tonight, 2 assists. Evan Bouchard, unreal. This guy's second all-time in points per game for defensemen. Only Bobby Orr is ahead of him. It's good company. Stuart Skinner makes 25 saves. It's his third shutout. He's tonight's second star. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, this guy is great in this building. A goal and assist plus 2 tonight. 4 goals, 2 assists, 6 points in his last 3 games in the playoffs against Dallas. Rogers postgame shows heard following each of our NHL broadcasts. The Oilers return to action. 1 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. It's a matinee at Rogers Place. It'll be stoked. With the series tied 1-1. That is on Sunday. For my play-by-play partners this season, Jack Michaels, who will have all the action of the Western Conference Final, Cam Moon, Rob Brown, Brendan Escott, Bryn Griffiths, along with our studio producers tonight.